Over 50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show. The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope you hang your mother. This country sucks! This place sucks! CNN masturbated all fucking day. Dude, I will eat your fucking asshole out and then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll fuck your ass! I want to kill myself! If I think it sucks, I tell you!
The Joe Cronin Show.
Who thought this would be the first wrestling review of 2020? The first wrestling review of 2020, and it's AEW. It's not WWE. It's AEW. First the things first, I just want to say thank you to everybody out there who was a badass and was part of the New Year's stream last night. That shit was nuts. We had a friggin' blast last night. It was pretty insane what went down. The New Year's party was wild last night. I went on at 12:40 at night. The New Year had already happened for the East Coast. I was already 40 minutes into the New Year last night, and you guys were insane. You guys were out of your goddamn minds. It was nuts. And we had a lot of fun, man, and we relived some times of the past. I had a goal set up that you guys annihilated, so thank you to the people that did that. And thank you to everybody who's been a part of the show since we started back in 2012 when we started here, man. It means a lot going into the new year. Who thought we'd make it 2012 to 2020? It's pretty crazy. And, yeah, so all the thanks out the way. And we have somebody in the house who was hazed on the new year by his family. AEW is tonight. We're going to talk about AEW, talk about the review, have a good time, have fun, and it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of interesting stuff, bro. Tomorrow night, baby. Tomorrow night is Thursday Night Out of Nowhere. Friday night is Monetize This. Everyone anticipating the return of Tommy. But AEW with I thought a pretty solid show tonight for the most part. We'll talk about some of the things I didn't understand, and then we'll talk about the things that we liked. And we'll hear from you guys with what you guys thought of tonight. Jake DeMarco, he's alive. What's up, Jake?
New Year, everybody. Yeah, decent show tonight. Nothing, again, that... no wow factor, nothing outstanding, but solid overall. Nothing that made you hate wrestling, as in with this past Monday night's wedding and all the nonsense over on the other side. But I was hoping for a bit more from tonight, really. They built up this first show of the new year to be this hot commodity, and really it kind of fell flat for me. It wasn't bad, but
what fell flat for you?
It wasn't a bad night, but it wasn't anything explosive or exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't. I thought it was an okay night. I was around a 6.5 to a 7, somewhere in there with tonight. Thought it was all right. an okay show. I don't think there was anything special and crazy. One of the things, the criticism I have first of all, the opening match was great. I thought Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes was a great opening to the show.
Yeah, that was the highlight of the night.
That was probably the best thing that happened all night. Arn Anderson in the corner. Cody Rhodes and Darby really did a great job. Again, they're kind of building Darby up to a very believable top mid-card spot. He feels like a very believable threat mid-carder because of this. But, Cody Rhodes gets the win. And so I really liked the opening match. I was really hyped. I liked the layout at Daly's place or wherever they were. It looked kind of cool.
It's an interesting setup, and they've been there before. And as Trailbound pointed out, they can hold a lot more than what they show, or at least what they're able to sell, maybe.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like a studio when they do it, and he was spot on about that. They're able to hold over 5,000 seats. So the way it's set up, it's confusing, but I'm curious as to why they have the special, stage set. I don't know if they just don't have room for the full setup, but it makes it kind of look like NXT's Full Sail Arena.
Yeah, it definitely does look. It looked a lot smaller. Looked more like NXT's Full Sail. Yeah, it's probably the ticket sales why they set it up that way. The first thing I had a problem with though was the women's match. I don't understand why. I mean, the match was great. I liked the match. The match was good, or the match was good. I was like, that's probably one of the best women's matches. Again, they've been striking a little bit better recently. But why is the champion? I wish they had sort of made mention of this, like the reason why it's a multi-women match is because there's a lot of women who are deserving of matches and they didn't get them because Rio, was doing some other things. So we're putting her in this multi-woman match, which is a little bit, maybe unfair to her, but because of her time off, this is her punishment or something like that. Because why is the title finally being defended? Why is the title finally being defended, but against multiple women? Why is that? That's a huge,
none of which being the number one contender. Yeah,
that's a huge punishment. That's a major punishment for her to have to defend against multiple women. This is the same thing as the tag team tournament championship. The tag team champions win a huge tournament, then have to face multiple opponents in the same match from the tournament for their first defense ever. Why is Rio, after not having to defend her title for a while, showing up in her first title defense that she finally has, which I'm not putting on her, by the way, so people are blaming her, but I'm blaming AEW. They're making her defend.
It's a corporate decision, creative stance.
She's defending fucking. Why is she having to face all these women? So finally the belt's on the line, but she has to face a bunch of women?
Yeah, and I found out, because I was curious myself, why, Statlander wasn't the one to face her. And apparently she had prior obligations tonight that she was sticking to, and they were supposed to move the match to next week originally, but they didn't do that.
Right.
So they put this match in place until next week. But like you said, you the whole story that they've been building up is to have Statlander be the number one contender. That's pretty much what they've been going off of while Riho hasn't been present. So then you have your title defense not be against the person that they announced was getting the title shot. I'm a fucking idiot. So with no mention as to why, Chris wasn't there or what was going on, it was odd. And then, like you said, it seems like a punishment for her having to defend against three opponents at the same time, because that gives even more of a chance for her to lose without being the one getting pinned or submitted. And the way that they went ahead and sold the match, though, made it seem like, oh, it's obvious she's going to win. There was no moment of danger there, unfortunately. And it was pretty, just the outcome was overly obvious, and that's unfortunate. There was never a doubt in my mind that, oh, Riho could lose here. It wasn't like, oh, the way they set it up, well, Riho has another defense next week against Chris Statlander. Well, instead of it being like, oh, whoever wins tonight, it's just they shot themselves in the foot with that, just like WWE has previously. They made it evidently obvious that Riho was walking out the champion still.
Yeah,
because they could have sold it as, well, Statlander might be prepared for Riho, but she might end up facing Britt Baker next week of all people. They didn't do any of that. So
Yeah, man. I mean, I agree. I thought it was a good match, but it was all for just a delay to get to her. And
yeah,
but either way, why does she have to face all these women? I just felt it. It's sort of like the plot holes in WWE on Raw. Like it's not even close to what WWE was doing. But still, why is your champion when she hasn't really defended the belt at all? Why when she first shows up to defend the belt, she has to defend it against like multiple women? Why?
Yeah,
why is
absolutely.
she facing all these women for the title? But
at least make it seem like she has a chance to lose here.
Why not have all the and I get it, they're trying to kill two birds with one stone, right? Like they booked her, so whatever. But why not book her in a match that's I guess there's no way out, right? Because they booked that match with what's her name? Statlander? I don't remember her name. Statlander. I keep wanting to call her Stratlander. Statlander. They booked the match with Stratlander, and then they she's there, but Statlander isn't. So Rio's here. So what is Rio gonna do? So what are you gonna? Because I was saying, why not have these women all face each other for number one contendership, or for a spot in the rankings, or whatever you want to call it. And but they really wanted to get Rio on because they advertised her and they wanted her to have a match, and she hasn't been here. So they go, okay, fine, So I think that's in the end why they did what they did, but. Because ideally you would say, well, just put Rio in a one-on-one against somebody else. But now somebody else gets a title match, and then she still gets her title match next week. And then what about the other women? So, I sort of see why they were up against it, and they went in this direction.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But you made her defend twice in the span of 2 weeks' time when she hasn't defended it in over, 2 months if it's close to?
Right.
So...
I want to say really quickly, I shouted this out in my latest video, but I do want to shout out everybody the other night who was donating on the 2020 stream. If you missed it, first of all, if you missed my 15-hour stream earlier in the year, earlier weeks ago, that was insane. So I want to thank everybody who was part of that. But also, man, last night, 2020, that was insane. The first 3 hours of that show last night, or 2 hours of us hanging out, man, that was a fucking party. I had a New Year's Eve party already with the family, and I felt like I was winding down. I'm going on. And then there was a re-party. Like, it was like a fucking re-party with all you guys. So that was a blast, man. And I got to shout out the top donators of the month right now because they really beasted last night. These are all people who were really beasting last night. NASCAR Fan 8809, June Bug, The Soundwave, Shell, DC Derek Omar, Pussy Lips McGee, The Villain Scavenger, and Shell's on there twice because she changed her name. But thank you guys for that. Let me go to the check out what you guys are saying about AEW. Also, everybody in the chat, at some point tonight in the stream, I'm going to shit my pants. I'm just kidding. I'm just being weird. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. Let's see who we got here. Jet 718. Yo, what's up, Jet? Jet just 18 months in a row. Jet is going at it 18 months in a row on Twitch, man. Thank you very much for supporting my gaming channel on Twitch and my gaming channel on YouTube and everywhere else, man. That is much appreciated. That is one of the first subscriptions of 2020. We had a couple last night. Michael Keene, I'll be back up on Patreon. Okay, Michael, yeah, no problem, man. I know a lot of people's Patreons didn't get renewed, so just check out your Patreon. Make sure you renew it.
You donated
holy
50
shit.
bucks. I'm going to take my dick
Oh
out
my
because
God.
you donated 50 bucks. You donated 50 bucks, motherfucker, boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Happy New Year. Tonight just seemed safe. Didn't do anything special.
Happy
The
New
women's
You.
title should have changed hands. Cody and Darby was great. Too much no selling in the last match. Everything else was whatever. I'll give it a 6.5.
I'll give it a 6.5. DC Derek, thank you, man, for the $50, DC. What up, bro? 6.5 ain't bad. That's kind of what I'm around. I feel like I'm around a 6.5. I feel like that's kind of my territory right now. Thank you, DC Derek. Holy shit, dude. Dropping a huge 50 bomb. What score are you around, Dave? I mean, not the DC Derek. I'm sorry. Thank you, man. I called DC Derek Jake at the same time and mixed it together. Yeah, what score are you around? Like, do you think you agree with him, man, on that rating? It was kind of just like a pretty good show, but whatever, not a big anything crazy. They tried to tell that story with the Young Bucks and the Elite, can they get back and whatever. I just felt like it was a little too removed from what happened 2 weeks ago.
That's the problem that I had. I was really hoping that they'd be facing off against the Dark Order, or at least talking about them in some regards. They got their asses kicked by them. Say something, do something, some type of retaliation.
I guess they just wanted to go with like, okay, build them back up again now, but where's the Dark
team
Order?
that they're building them back up against is supposedly the second best tag team in the world, and PAC's supposed to be this huge threat as well. So now they're suffering a loss to build up the Elite. So I don't think those three should be stepping stones.
Yeah, it is weird
to get somebody back on track. I thought that was a really piss poor decision. That's part of the reason my rating was down. They should have been. It should have just been a brawl against the Dark Order. They didn't need a match tonight. They don't need their redemption at this point. They haven't lost enough or suffered enough defeats. They haven't been screwed with enough to have to rebuild themselves after one single beatdown. They have this huge redemption arc that they're trying to portray here, but I felt it was wholly unnecessary because they only had the one attack.
Yeah,
it just felt really bizarre and out of place.
It was weird.
I don't feel like I'm overthinking this either, because if you kicked my ass, I'd want to beat the shit out of you. I wouldn't go and challenge Leah. I'd be like, well, I know Joe killed me last week, but Leah, it's just so random. That's why I don't feel like it adds up.
Do you think it was something to do with the Dark Order not being there, or like why wouldn't they go
because
right
the Dark
into
Order
that?
even introduced, which I thought I liked their promo tonight, and they introduced the Exalted One. We've not seen their leader, but it's being mentioned, and soon we'll see the true reach of the Dark Order. And it had this like huge ominous threat at the end, and we saw their attack on the Elite. And I get it's supposed to be like a mild reset. Yeah, Ehil says it too, but it didn't live up to what I was hoping for here.
Yeah, there was really yeah, man, it was just like a little bit flat. I mean, it wasn't anything terrible tonight. It just wasn't. Yeah,
because it's still a good match, but we've seen the Elite take on, unfortunately, a form of the Lucha Bros and PAC with Kenny over and over. I wish they had kind of mixed things up there, because if you want a stepping stone team to defeat to build yourselves back up, that's not the right call there.
Maybe they're taking a break for a little while, or they're going to be off TV for the next couple weeks, the Lucha Bros. Maybe. Well, no,
the Lucha Bros are going to be there next week against Cody and Dustin. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. If that was the case, it would make sense. But
what? So do you think they bailed on the Dark Order story, and they were more like? Do you think they wrapped it up? They bailed on it and then wrapped, because that's what this is like. That's like, oh, they attacked, and can the Elite's in trouble because the Dark Order's coming. The Elite's in so much trouble, and then tonight it was like, look, the Elite's as strong as they've ever been, see? But then there's no Dark Order, and then next week the Elite has other things to do, including this clear Adam Page. Like, at some point, they're going to be in trouble in the ring, and Adam Page is going to turn on them.
Yeah, they built that up
This
tonight.
is, like, telegraphed by a mile.
Yeah, because he said he's trying to get himself away from them, and he doesn't want to go ahead and be involved with the Elite. Then he said, all right, I'm going to get out of here after they won, and we're going to celebrate. He keeps saying how he's trying to distance himself. Here's my kind of out there thought. I think they kind of put their eggs in a few baskets, and then it didn't go as planned. Mm-hmm. I think it's still heading that way, but they announced it tonight that they have the Exalted One, the leader. This is kind of a fantasy book thing, but it seems kind of obvious as well. Tell me if I'm crazy here, but I think their idea was to have Marty Scurll come in and be the head of the Dark Order.
Okay. And then now he's not sure.
Now either he's unsure or he's definitely busy. He's got the Ring of Honor show on the 12th.
Yep.
And he's taking on the Villain Enterprise is taking on your buddy there.
Oh, Mike Bennett, or Vinny Marseglia.
Vinny Marseglia.
Taven, or one of those guys I knew.
Yeah, and so they're doing the horror kind of gimmick against each other, and it looks like it's going to be an interesting matchup there. But that's the 12th for the house show, so he's still busy until that point in time.
Right.
And so now it looks like, all right, well, we can continue to tease the Dark Order storyline. Now we have the Exalted One. We have our leader. We have our higher power, and we're going to go ahead You know, we'll see him later. You know, but I think that maybe that was their intended idea, and now they're just having to delay it.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I could be way off.
No, you might be right. No, I'm dead serious. You're probably right because what I just said is what you're saying. It's like they seemingly are delaying something. They left with this big cliffhanger, but the cliffhanger isn't what we thought it was. We thought it was going to be this leading up to they got to fight back against the Dark Order, and there's going to be this big feud thing. But instead, it was more like, can they just be good again? Like they veered into like, can they beat the Dark Order and how are they going to fight these guys? Into like, can the Elite come back together? Like, that type of thing. They destroyed their confidence, and now they have to build themselves back up. There's some kind of swerve or some kind of, alteration that's been made here, it seems like.
Yeah, and since Marty accepted that match, no word is said that he's staying with Ring of Honor.
Right.
But it has been stated that he received another great offer. I mean, obviously they want to keep him. They're in dire straits over there.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of divisions and
he's the last guy. He's one of the last guys, and I don't even understand why. I'll come out and tell you guys, I'm honest. I don't even understand the hype. Marty Scurll. I don't care. Like, he's okay. He's a little guy. I don't know. I'm not that into Marty Scurll. You guys love him. That's cool. I think he's all right. But, I mean, he's nothing crazy special to me. But his name, his independent indie name means something. When he does something, there's stories written about it. A lot of other guys, there's not as many stories written about it. Even Will Ospreay. If Will Ospreay does something, they write about it, and he's popular too. But for some reason, Marty Scurll is even more like notable, is what I'm trying to say. And so that's what Ring of Honor lost with all of these Elite guys. They lost all these guys came in there and raped them. Like Ring of Honor, I've said this a million times, Ring of Honor has been raped, and they allowed themselves. They basically lifted up their skirt and wondered why they were pregnated, and then they ran away.
They got raided.
They got raided, dude. They got their fucking porridge stolen, motherfucker. Every pot of porridge they had was taken by somebody else, and they just sat there like idiots.
It was all just right.
Like, dude, they are the dumbest. Like, Ring of Honor, this is, and I know that I've already ranted about this, so I'm just going to say it really quickly, but this is a historical collapse by them. And the thing about it is,
they funded their own demise.
It's hilarious. I don't know what can be said about it because, listen, when it comes down to it, no matter how much you want to pay someone, no matter how much you want to do, these guys may have wanted to create their own company, and no matter what, they wouldn't have stayed with Ring of Honor. And at the time, I was saying a company needs to come out like this, and then we got it. But Ring of Honor could have been that company if they transformed themselves and did some crazy shit. But they didn't. And I mean, they got raided. And on top of that, JB, what's up, JB? JB's in the chat. And on top of that, they got raided, they got raped. They should have done things to either lock up talent or seen what was going on and locked up certain talent. They should have at least locked up the Young Bucks. If they couldn't lock up the Young Bucks, they should have locked up Kenny Omega. If they couldn't lock up them because they were all together and doing stuff together, then they should have been aware of that. And what they should have done is I don't know what to tell you, Jake, but to be honest, they shouldn't have given them a platform. And let me explain why I can relate to this.
Yeah.
Because when I see somebody who's detrimental, who is a bad person, like a very dangerous person. People are like this on YouTube. I'm telling you, people on YouTube are like this. If somebody is out to just fuck you over and take your shit, and you give them a platform and they become popular, they'll bite you in the ass. You know what I mean? This has happened to me with multiple former friends and things like that. They'll use you, and they may only take 4%. They may only take a few people and try to spin stuff about you. But that's what was done to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor gave them the platform, and they didn't understand how dangerous it was that they were building up and showcasing and creating and funding and fueling the talent that they were. And then they got nothing in return. Get something in return. The difference with me, with a lot of things that have happened over the 8 years that I've been doing the Joe Cronin show is I usually get a return. I know what I'm doing. I get a fucking return. Even if somebody shits on me and does whatever the fuck they do, I already got some kind of return or something. Like, you got to get a return out of people. Like, that's what they need to do. Like, you want to be friends with them, and hopefully that's what happens. I'm sure that's usually what I think, like, when I'm friends with people on YouTube or in podcasting or whatever. I hope to be friends and forever do podcasts with somebody.
Yeah,
but
it's mutually beneficial to branch out.
This is why Vince doesn't want to build up big stars anymore, but you can't. But you have to. If you're Vince McMahon, you have to do it. You're seeing what's happening in WWE. You need to build up stars. If you're WWE, there's no risk. Who cares? You build up a star, they go somewhere else, whatever. You need to build up stars. But he's so paranoid about building up stars. So WWE is the opposite of Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor built up all these guys and then allowed them to just go ahead and leave and didn't get any return out of them. Fucking terrible. But WWE, it feels like, is terrified of building up anybody ever again. So they don't get anybody to be popular really anymore unless they're on their own.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's a weird juggling act that has to be done, but
they feel abused at this point, so they're not going to go ahead and push into anybody. You know, if you come in with star power, that's as much as you're going to be able to hold on to.
Yeah, and
they're not going to elevate anyone probably at this point because they're in fear of being, brutalized once again.
And all that being said, by the way, I did not know Wrestle Kingdom was going to be 2 days this year. Holy shit!
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
We're gonna die. I mean, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna say
myself before. It's Honor Reign Supreme. That's the pay-per-view event, and Marty Scurll's not doing with Vinny. Vinny's on the card, so that's why I saw them announced together. I don't follow ROH enough anymore. It's been a while, but so it's going to be PCO. Since Rush lost the title, Rush has got a new faction, and he's working with Dragon Lee and Kenny King, and they're going to be taking on PCO, Marty Scurll, and Brody King, which is Villain Enterprises. So that's for the 6-man championships. And then, Tracy Williams and Mark Haskins, they're going to go ahead and take on Vincent and Bateman. So that'll be interesting to see. But
and now is Drew the second day? Is that Moxley the second day?
I thought that was. I think I'm off here.
Somebody told me the other day. Somebody told me the other day he was second, but he might be first. I could have gotten the wrong info, and I don't even know anyway. And yes, people are observing my necklace is off. That's right, the necklace that I've been wearing since I started the Joe Cronin show. This is the necklace. It broke.
Did it?
Guess who broke it? Chat.
Your son. Is it Finn?
Finn broke my necklace.
Oh no!
He pulled on my necklace while we were wrestling. We're wrestling around, and he pulled my necklace. Just pulled it, snapped off. So my necklace is gone.
Damn.
And
that was iconic.
I mean, I can put a little hook on it, so I may do that. And yeah, this is 10 years of this.
At least you can.
Put
it back together.
I was thinking about selling it for charity or something. Maybe somebody.
It's so iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, giving it.
You've had that for so long.
Maybe putting it on the St. Jude thing, and then see if some idiot buys it for $50, and we give $50 to St. Jude's or something. I don't know.
A lot of big matches. Night one: Lance Archer against Moxley in that Texas Death match. Ospreay against Takahashi. Jay White against Naito.
Yeah. And
then Okada and Kota Ibushi for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship is night one. And then night two is there's still, obviously the to be determined, because you got whoever wins the Heavyweight Championship taking on the Intercontinental Champion, and then Tanahashi versus Jericho. And then we have the losers facing off for Okada and Ibushi, and White versus Naito. So also Kenta's taking on Goto, and Juice Robinson is still facing to be determined, because that's for the British Heavyweight Championship.
Damn.
Right? No, that's for the IWGP US Championship.
Okay, all right, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to cover it, at some point.
Yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Sonata, that's for the British Heavyweight Championship. So there's 11 matches the first night and 9 the second night.
I'm going to die.
And then a few days later, don't they have their New Year's?
Because what days of the week are those? Isn't it Saturday and Sunday, or?
Well, yeah, it's the 4th and 5th, so.
Yeah, that's going to be a mess. Listen, we're going to take a time out to play the donations, man. What's going on to the chat? How you guys doing? Thank you for last night. Like I said, I don't want to reiterate again, but I do really quickly. Thank you guys for last night's 2020 celebration, man. You guys, it was a party all day, then it went all night. I drank some cran and vodka, and my cock stirred the cran, man.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of bubbly coming in.
Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Overall felt like it was solid but forgettable show. I felt like Darby and Cody was great along with Jericho and MJF segments. I really want AEW to get a better sound engineer because it's hard to even understand some of the promos at times. 7/10.
Oh, yeah, man. Sometimes the sound is all over the place. Tonight I didn't have a problem. But there was a couple weeks where I listened with headphones, and that was awful sound wave.
Tonight was bad.
Oh, really? To me. See, I was watching on the screen tonight, so...
The venue is an amphitheater. Fight for the Fallen was there. 9 out of 10 show.
Oh, my God. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even recognize that. The J-Boat. What up, J-Boat? Thanks for becoming a $5 shit bum, J-Boat. And shout out to DC Derek, who is the top donator right now. And he could be taking home the JCS Digital Championship tonight. And that is much appreciated, as always, guys, because you guys keep the show going, man. JCS Army is in the chat, and they're getting wet. The JCS Army is in the chat, and they're getting wet right now. I can see it. And everybody who just re-upped their Patreon, thank you. Alex7, Michael Delgetti. Thank you, sir.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Some other thoughts. Riho should have had some video package to explain her absence emo. I felt like the women's match built-up was fairly bad because it was kinda thrown together pretty bad. But I am hyped for Cody versus Wardlow in a steel cage match. Rock on gesture.
Soundwave 92, thank you, Soundwave 92. What's up, man? Yeah, Cody Wardlow in a steel cage. That could be fun. It feels like throwback, man. It just feels so throwback.
Super chat.
I like it.
Party.
Happy New Year, 7 out of 10 from AU Mark.
Hey, Happy New You. Gelfman. What up, Gelfman? Happy New You. Last night, while we were celebrating 2020, Tommy's girlie there, Crystal, said the N-word. It was very weird last night. We're going to talk to Tommy about that on Friday. It's going to be weird. It's very strange. Gelfman, thank you so much, man. And Tommy returns to not only monetize this, but the Honestly podcast as well. And me and my wife, Till Death Do Us podcast, that's coming back up as well this week. So get those questions in on Patreon and get wet. Thank you, Gelfman. Appreciate it. So we got really through the Cody Rhodes match, the first match of the night, man, and then
really
the women's match. And yeah,
it's 50,000 yen for a front row ticket right now for Wrestle Kingdom 14.
50,000 yen is like, was that $5,000 US?
No, it's $460.
What?
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I'm like, wow, it's going to be crazy expensive. No, it's $460.01.
Holy shit.
For front row to Wrestle Kingdom. How do you beat that?
I mean, dude, you could like fly out to Wrestle Kingdom. Like for like $700, fly out there and sit in the front area.
Yeah. You know, tickets now for the airfare would probably double that, but if you had planned ahead, sure.
Wow,
for the Tokyo Dome, you know, they've got the 2-night thing, and then obviously the 6th, which, you know, they have New Year Dash as well. So they've got basically 3 big shows in a row because the 2 nights are Wrestle Kingdom, and then New Year Dash is that Monday. Craziness.
I'm just tweeting out the show because I forgot to tweet it. If I don't tweet it, I'll feel bad.
Yeah, a bunch of people sent me that sign as well. That the guy was holding up a sign that said XFL is a pissant company.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious. So,
again, it's like these are the things that people look for instead of anything else. It's so funny.
Yeah,
because stuff
we get
is so
through
bad.
the Cody match, and we got through the women's Fatal 4-Way. Obviously, Riho defeated Nyla Rose, Shida, and Baker. And then after the match, Nyla Rose assaulted Riho, and, you know, Rose puts her on the table, put her through with a big splash. And then Nyla's celebrating on the stage as the announce team said Riho has, you know, obviously the defense next week against Statlander. So that was the way to still remind you of the match. But I wonder if Nyla will be suspended again for attacking after the match.
I thought they were going to do that. And you know what's weird is, okay, tell me if I'm wrong. I want to know if I'm wrong or right. When I was watching this, I could be wrong. Could have missed the goddamn thing. What up, Sports Fan and Gabriel Torres and Adam and Lord Chameleon? How you guys doing? Bruce, what up, Bruce? Did they not mention that? I know they mentioned the suspension earlier, but did they not say something like, when she went through the table again, did they not say something like, she just got off suspension and she's going to do this again, or she might be suspended again? Did they say anything like that?
Not that I recall.
Me neither. I was like, why aren't they saying something like that? Because that would, it's not a big deal. This is a total nitpick, but I'm surprised they weren't like, well, I'm like, what is she doing? Like, she just got off suspension. What the hell? Like, what is she thinking right now?
Yeah, I'll have to have the chat verify, but not that I recall.
Yeah,
I was busy writing some notes down, but I don't
it's
recall
a nitpick.
them saying anything like that.
It's a nitpick.
It is, but it adds to the overall importance of what you're watching, and it keeps with the continuity of the story that they're telling.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, I will give them credit. The commentary flowed really well tonight.
Yeah,
Taz was a great addition to obviously fill in for Tony. So.
Yeah, I think Taz talked a little more than Tony, but it was it ended up being okay. It was I think weirdly enough, I don't know if it was the break and JR got like a big rest or something, but I wonder if it's not just the rest. I wonder if JR stepped up his I don't want to say this, because if I said this to JR, he would say, "What are you, crazy? Like, you think that I go out there and half-ass it other nights? You don't think I put 100% in every time I go out there? Like, that's crazy." So I feel like saying this isn't really right, but I'm going to say it anyway. It almost felt like Taz, like, pushed him, like almost like a backup goalie.
Out of him.
Yeah, like a backup goalie. Like, oh shit, I better play like insane tonight because the coach is going to put this fucking guy in. Like, because what if they asked me, like, JR, we'd really like to just have you in the back and help out. We need you to help out back there, and we can put Taz up here now or whatever. Like, so I know that's probably not the case, and JR would vehemently, like, to not be angry at what I just said. And so I apologize.
But I get your point.
I like Jim Ross. I like Jim Ross better than Taz. I'm not even a big Taz guy.
Yeah, he sounded caffeinated and well-rested, though.
Yeah, sounded like he was loaded on caffeine, so maybe it's just the rest.
That as well, but I did enjoy it. People in the chat said that JR did go ahead and mention it. I didn't catch it, though, so...
Wait, what?
He did mention about the suspension.
Oh, they did? Okay, all right.
For Nyla. Chat said JR mentioned it. Like I said, I
heard them mention it when she first came out. Like, she's back from suspension after being suspended. But I didn't hear them sort of... Like, if I was commentating after the table incident, I would have said, what does she want to get suspended again? Or she might be suspended again. She's going to get herself suspended again. Like, what the hell?
The Rose said that they mentioned about Nyla coming off suspension and using the table. She could be looking at being suspended for all of 2020.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome. I missed it. I walked out of the room. My bad. Okay, kudos to them big time. That's awesome. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, that's what I said. I always like to verify.
Yeah, no, I'm an idiot then. That is...
No, because it wasn't something, I was sure of. But...
I'm nitpicking. It's something that didn't even exist, and I didn't do my fucking homework on what they actually said, so... That's my fault. My bad. So that was really good. So that means that was my only nitpick. And so that means the fucking commentary was pretty decent tonight.
I wish they just made it feel like there was a chance for Riho to not win. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe they are going to get the title off of her. Because I wasn't sure why Statlander wasn't getting her shot. So when people said on Twitter, oh, she had other prior obligations that she was loyal to. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But before that, I'm like, oh, maybe they are just going to respond to fan criticism and take the belt off of Riho, and this is their way to do it while still protecting her because she won't take the pin here.
Yeah.
But obviously that wasn't their intention, so...
I do like Taz in the AEW.
It is interesting, but...
I like Taz and Tony Schiavone in their spots. Like, I kind of like I enjoy them as the third guy with information. They're believable. They're nice to listen to. I respect them both a lot. So even though I wasn't a big Taz guy back in the day, because I always hated Michael Cole, I've never liked Cole. I mean, I don't hate him as a person. He's a really smart producer and all these things, but I don't like him at all on the mic. After, like, I hated him on the mic back at WrestleMania 15. Like, I didn't like him back then. I was always like, "Where's JR? Goddamn, Cole sucks." And now he's just terrible to listen to. But he did used to be better. But yeah. Tony Schiavone, Taz, big thumbs up for me. Excalibur is unique, and he was really smart, but I don't love the way he delivers commentary, so you know, it is what it is. JR is a little bit, you know, has lost a little bit of a step. It's weird, but he's also awesome at the same time, so it's whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia with Ross, so.
Yeah. Better commentary tonight, though, than usual, I will say.
And I'm a huge fan of Taz's. Big mark for him. I loved him so much in ECW. Like, that was my reason for watching. I love seeing what he was going to do next. He's such a you know, small in stature guy. He was looked at like he was the size of the Big Show.
I'll tell you what he was going to do next. He was going to get stilts. He's a fucking
really,
midget.
Get some leg extensions.
Yeah.
But that was the thing for being practically just under 5 feet the way you looked at him compared to everybody else. Everyone was, you know, at least they acted and portrayed it that way. But they were afraid of this bastard because he was just so clinically insane. He was just that friggin' tough. And they built him up to that main event level in ECW. He was such a revered badass. It was unreal. And I mean, he was a legit badass too. He could take a hell of a beating and you know, not even show it, but that's why his career was so shortened. And I loved his debut in WWE. Came out, defeats Kurt Angle at the Rumble, first opening match. The hometown, you know, crowd goes nuts and chokes him out with the Tazmission. Great debut, and then they just ruined him. They had him, you know, job out to Austin and Triple H and nothing. And then he was on commentary. So I didn't really give him a chance on commentary because I was so bitter that his career was done at that point. Yeah. That hearing him was just like, it was upsetting. So I was so biased against him not being able to wrestle that I didn't enjoy it for a long time. I can admit that, but so hearing him now, it's like a double-edged sword. I wish, you know, we got to see more from him in ring, but I appreciate what he brings.
DJ Scandalous is right. Taz would look normal sized in AEW. He'd look pretty big.
Yeah, or
no doubt
NXT.
About that. Marvelous, thank you for being in the chat, man, with your membership to the JCS channel. Thanks for going above and beyond with the membership. Kevin Carter, Shell. Where's all the members tonight? I was going to shout out more members, but there's not a whole ton of members tonight. Let me see. A lot of people had to work late after their other thing. John Wills is here. Shell, Marvelous. Who else did I not shout somebody else out? I think I got most of the members. Bryce is in the chat, though. What's up, Bryce? How you guys doing? What's up to everybody in the chat?
Then
all
we
right,
had
so what else
the
do we
Dark
miss?
Order promo that I mentioned that I really enjoyed.
I missed it.
It was short and sweet.
Wait, so it was
point.
better than all the other ones? Because we were picking apart the other ones.
Yeah, this one was much less of what we've gotten before. It was pretty much just very straightforward, saying that, you know, they showed a little highlight of them attacking the Elite, and then they ended with this ominous threat saying that, you know, you'll see the true reach of what we're capable of, and we're gonna, you know, soon see the leader, the Exalted One. So
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was, I liked it. It wasn't this, you know, constant dribble and nonsensical, you know, type of brainwashing that drones on and on. Yeah. Like, I liked the 1 week in the hotel, but the 2 weeks before that with the guy in the subway, I wasn't crazy about, so. Bullfrog is in the chat again. Yeah, Jeremiah wants that damn frog army donation.
They're claiming that they're your pet, though. Like, are you like you're the leader secretly? Like, I
licked a few frogs on the trip, but
hell yeah,
that's a whole nother
take
story.
my pants off.
Max Hardcore Peter North, what a great name. Twitch, thank you for following me. So you're being kind of scapegoated. What am I, Irish? Scapegoated. What am I? No, Canadian. Scapegoated as the leader of the Bullfrog Army.
I have no allegiance to the turkeys or the bullfrogs.
I am really
I'm a neutral
jet-lagged.
party.
Dewey
Both are
666.
equally delicious.
Dewey, thank you for the $2 super chat. You're jet lagged, man. Would you go to Japan? Ohio gozaimasu. Domo arigato. Ohio gozaimasu. Thank you very much for the donation, man. Now we've got multiple people in Japan. We got Ed's View. We got Tomi Sherry. We got a lot of people in Japan right now watching. Wait till Wrestle Kingdom. That'll be fun. I still have the New Japan app. I re-upped it again a month ago, so I'm all set to go there. I think that's probably where I'm watching it. Because it won't be anywhere else anyway.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just on the app.
So we got the Cody Rhodes match, we got the women's match, you got that promo out of the way, that was okay. And yeah, at this point I'm thinking so far it's like a 7 out of 10 show, am I right?
Yeah, it's good opening match. The women was okay. It wasn't the usual, clusterfuck that we've gotten from them. And now we got Moxley taking on Trent from Best Friends. So Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends come on out to a good ovation. Moxley comes through the crowd, and they start off. Trent and John are just chopping the hell out of each other, and it's echoing through the amphitheater. Really cool, moment back and forth with there. And just as we end up, seeing them get to the ramp, we go back to the commercial. And that was, again, nothing to complain about. It's how it is. At least we have picture-in-picture, but there is no better way to do it at this point. I know they need commercial breaks. It's just unfortunate. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's too bad, but yeah, they got to...
Tonight, it just seemed to always be at the worst opportune time. Like, the match just starts to hit a certain crescendo, and they're like, oh, we'll be right back. So... then, we get the half suplex and Moxley's recovering on the floor, and you get the big dive to the outside. And that's shortly when Orange Cassidy enters the ring, and he does the whole hands in his pockets, and Moxley puts his hands in his pockets, and that allows Trent to attack him from behind. So he gets the running knee, and I think it was a pile driver for the near fall there. And Moxley recovers pretty quickly, gets the paradigm shift on the ramp, and then he goes into the ring and hits what was supposed to be a paradigm shift, but ended up looking like a double underhook suplex. It was a bit of a miscommunication there. It looked more like a fisherman.
Instead, it was devastating, dude. It was real devastating. Adams, whatever.
He flipped him all the way over on that one, right in his head. So that was highly elevated and definitely hard.
I mean, they covered it the right way. It was like, wow, that was pretty. That's not normally the way. I mean, it looked good. They worked it. It wasn't anything bad. It just was surprising.
Yeah,
they might have worked it that way. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like Jake, they might have worked it because it was perfectly well done. He didn't get. It wasn't a spike, and it wasn't a plant. It was a almost like. Well,
like
it was kind of like
a
spike, but it was like. It's just where you don't.
Because he got him all the way up and over smooth. So.
It's just you don't want your head landing that way because that's the way something. If he fell,
that's Stinger territory.
Yeah, it was ugly. It's snap your neck territory too. It was like,
well, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway,
but at the very least,
they designed it because if you did that by accident, you'd be killed or be hurt. I believe they did it on purpose, but
I can see that. It just seems.
I mean, sometimes
unorthodox.
I can say when I was in the ring, when I was wrestling, and when I, sometimes you do get carried away and you just put it all into it, and you still do it well. It's weird. You don't have to plan it. It's the strangest thing. I mean, I know that a lot of you guys out there, some of you out there probably have wrestled or whatever, but when I wrestled, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to give you my big finisher, and okay, cool. And you don't know sometimes. You could do the regular version, you could do one where the guy oversells, and you could do one where it's a little bit different, and you just, for some reason, you're both feeling it. It's the weirdest thing. That's why wrestling is kind of amazing. It's like dancing, but it's also amazing in another way because you're literally in jeopardy when you're doing stuff like this. And sometimes you'll be so hyped up, you'll be like, I want to sell the fuck out of this, and then you'll drive it, but the other guy oversells, and you're like, whoa, I didn't expect him to go that crazy. And
that far.
Usually it's the guy who sells it that puts himself in that spot. So most likely he put himself in that spot, but still, when you both can somehow not talk, know that you're doing the move, but not really talk about how you're going to execute it. If it's done spontaneously, and you just both know, how hyped you need to be. You know how hyped you are. You know what the crowd's expecting. You know where you are in the ring, and you kind of just feel it. It's hard to explain, but most of the time, it's like fucking guessing. I hate to say, because it's not, because you're professional and you know how to do things, but sometimes you're fucking just feeling it, and it's so weird.
Yeah, two minds can be so in sync.
But I don't know if that's the case, that this situation is that case, and I'm obviously going off the rails here with a retarded commentary, but
no, but
it's just weird.
Certainly
it happens.
It fits, absolutely, because you want to go ahead and make light of the fact, or at least note the fact that, you see it often in wrestling. You're only calling, a few spots, or, the bare minimum of what you're going to do. You'll say 1, 2, and 3, but now to go in 4, 5, and 6 instinctively. That's why it is. The more you practice, the better you preach. That's really how it works here. So,
right. And I will take calls a little bit later, guys. A little bit at the end of the show, I'm going to take some calls with you guys, just like I've been doing. Jake will probably head to bed, and I'll take some calls, and then you guys can call up and say whatever you want about AEW. We'll talk about it. We'll have a good time. And, so stay tuned for that. But, yeah, so the match was okay.
Then Sammy Guevara comes out and Guevara. I was saying
he's annoying as shit, but it's working.
It is working. So
you actually hate the guy.
That's the thing, but it's less.
Jake, can I say this? There's the go home heat, but then there's the just before that.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, but to me, it's not go home heat, but it is like I really hate this guy. If I saw him in real life, though, in real person, I'd be like, dude, you're great, you're doing a good job. But and this isn't go away heat where I want to turn the TV off, but I do want to see this kid just get slapped around. So
yeah, you really want to see him get his ass beat, which was everyone was hoping that Moxley would just pick him apart. Everybody was waiting for it. So
yeah,
I wish that they would try and reach to Moxley via different means. Because in a way, that's all Jericho knows is money and bribery. So, because that's what he's motivated by is being famous and being the top of and the owner and being rich. Moxley, his character, doesn't feel defined by wealth. And I wish instead they were offering him, but that's Jericho wants Moxley to join because I think in his mind he knows Moxley is going to be the one to beat him for the title. I don't think Jericho, in storyline anyways, feels like he can beat Moxley. So rather than have to defend the title and possibly lose it, he thinks if he joins him, then he can not have to worry about that.
Wouldn't it be great? When's Jericho's cruise?
Shortly. Another 2 weeks, I believe.
Can you imagine if right before Jericho's cruise, AEW, are you listening to Joe Cronin right now? Is this even possible? I don't know. Can you imagine if right before the cruise, when Jericho's still offering Jon Moxley to be part of the group, Jon Moxley destroys Jericho's car. Sorry, I take that back. Jericho does something fucked up to Moxley. Jericho does something to Moxley, like he rips his favorite jacket, he steals something, whatever. Jericho does something horrific to Moxley and then goes on his cruise. And Jericho's on, and they can film the cruise, right? Film from the cruise or whatever they're doing, or even do a live shot, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. And Jericho's on the top of the cruise ship, celebrating with we're having some bubbly, it's a great time. What we did to Mox was hilarious. How about what we did to Mox? You know what I mean? How about that jacket? Should have joined the club or whatever the fuck. Should have joined the inner circle, you idiot. We're on the Jericho cruise, blah blah. And then by the end of the cruise, Dean Ambrose is driving up to the cruise ship on a fucking speedboat. with shades on and shit, in the daytime or whatever, in the night, whatever. They film it earlier, film it later, whatever. Yeah, he's on a jet ski or he's on another boat and it's Mox and they zoom in from the boat and it's Moxley and he's fucking got a crazy look on his face, and then they zoom way out and the boat's coming and then they pan over from an on-deck camera of Jericho being like, don't let him on the ship, or whatever. And the captain's like, well, we don't have to let him on unless there was a distress call or whatever. And so then fucking, Moxley sinks his ship or something, or sinks his little boat that he has, and he radios over SOS, something like that. They got to pick him up, and he gets on, just starts, whatever. Or he just pulls up to the boat and dives onto the boat and gets on the boat. Somebody,
Thunder in Paradise.
Jericho's Thunder in Paradise. Yeah, dude, this is fucking hilarious.
DJ Scandalous said it.
Yeah, dude, and fucking Moxley's fighting people and throwing them off the ship or whatever.
I'd love to see him sink the cruise ship, just driving away.
Dude, oh my god, it would be so fucking hilarious. And then Moxley to get to Jericho, and there's this big ocean of people between them and he can't get to him. And then Moxley gets in the ring and whatever. If they have a match, even if they don't have a match, if they just fight on the cruise ship and he crashes Jericho's bubbly party or whatever,
throw him off the boat.
Throw him off the boat to end it or whatever. And if they don't allow them to do that, just do something
throw him in the hot tub on there. Then
dude,
you figure it out.
That would be so fucking hilariously badass. If they did even a smidgen of what I'm talking about with him showing up on a speedboat and diving onto the ship, dude,
awesome.
That would be talked about forever. It would be
absolutely.
So. If they don't do something like that, they're out of their fucking minds.
I almost wish that Moxley would accept the inner circle offer.
Right, and then he could have been on the boat.
It's so obvious that, he's not going to be, we could be together to pull Cody's pink tie out of his ass, and make it seem legit for a little bit. And then because he's got the 49%, say, well, I'll do it for 51%. And Jericho agrees. And now Moxley can destroy him from the inside. And that's how he signs himself up for the title fight down the line. Because they really need to subvert expectations here, because a lot of their stuff has just been really, really obvious.
Right.
I'm sorry, but even when the lights go out or the blind attacks, that's why the boat idea you just had is great, because you're not expecting it. All the silly things that we've come up with throughout time is fun because it's not expected.
How about
we need that shock factor?
How about if he
so
did?
far, all of AEW, we haven't gotten it. I feel like even once.
How about if he did accept it and then they're on the boat celebrating? They're into a couple weeks of this, and he goes, "Mox, come over here. You're gonna have some of this wine. This wine's $10,000, Mox." And they're all celebrating with the bubbly, and then that's when out of nowhere he attacks Jericho on the ship, or he throws him off the ship, or whatever the case is. But that would be
have crashed the cruise ship.
And listen, I know you can't jump onto the cruise boat. Probably if it's a big ass cruise ship, you can't just jump onto the boat. There's no sides. So,
but do Jericho's yacht,
Yeah. Or and I said this about obviously MJF and EC3 and all them having this yacht and everything, but even if you can't, find a way to do it. You can find a way that Moxley is driving a speedboat to catch up to the cruise ship. And obviously this is after Jericho did something fucked up to Moxley, like destroyed his car or whatever the case is. They attacked Moxley on the show, and then Jericho says, "Now we're going on the cruise of Jericho, baby! We're going to celebrate the ass-kicking of John Moxley! Yeah, baby!" And
that's the thing with Moxley, because he's so on the fly with everything.
Yeah.
That would make sense. I found a jet ski or a ski boat, or and then I went there and then I kicked his ass. He doesn't make plans. He doesn't have a plan. He's the Joker in that sense. He just wants to watch the world burn. He said that before. So him being so him-haw indecisive about all this and not jumping right to attack Sammy or I'll give you my answer next week. It just feels kind of out of character for him. Because he's not one to mull it over. I feel like he's very yes, no, maybe, just attack. He's he doesn't know which way he's going to go. He's just a rabid attack dog, and that's not kind of what they're getting at him here. They're trying to reason with him, and he's somebody that you're not supposed to be able to do that with. He's insane. He's crazy. He's certifiably nuts. I feel like they're kind of losing that bit of his ego character, at this point in time. So I really would like to see, like you said, these crazy antics from Moxley, where he is jumping through a ring of fire on a jet ski that, crashes Jericho's cruise ship and burns it down. It's something with huge antics involved.
Oh, dude,
that would be great.
I'm just picturing like Jericho and them being like, "What the hell is that?" And then off in the distance, it's a light, and then the camera. Cameras like that can zoom in really far. Yeah. So the zoom in to this speedboat, and Moxley with his fucking bouncing up and down with a fucking crazy look on his face with somebody driving the boat or he's there, and then the zoom out and then turn to Jericho, he'd be like,
Jericho dragging the camera guy to the edge of the boat, being like, zoom in, you can see who
what
is
the
that?
hell is that? Yeah, that would, dude. I'm telling you, that shit would be go straight up 80s movie, 80s bad guy movie on the cruise ship. Dude, they do that, I will jerk off. Dude, I would lose my mind laughing at that. I don't know what it is, but I would lose it. Somebody get me a hold of Jericho, please.
I would
somebody
kill to see any version of that. And
Joey Janela, tell Jericho I need to talk to him.
Yeah, really. And Carlton said in the chat, can they do live production on the cruise? Is there a way to get the production trucks on the boat? And yes, they're supposedly doing things live from the Jericho. So.
Yeah, and even if they had to, they could film it earlier.
DJ Skinless said Dark Order can baptize people in the pools of the yacht. Yeah, exactly. Go all out with this. That's what I said before. I'm so excited for the idea that they're going to have Dynamite on the Jericho cruise. That is an incredible idea. Go with it and make this something, huge. I think that this is so unorthodox. You can really make this next level.
Yeah, it's That could be, dude. And I know that Jericho probably already has something big planned. Jericho probably already has a great idea. They've already got crazy good ideas that whatever, and what I just said is ridiculous or can't be done for what X amount of reason, whatever. But, dude, I'm telling you, that would be I think that would be a major hit, especially if you have the ability to record it earlier. You know what I mean? Like, the ability to record it earlier and tape it. Because I don't know if the cruise is going to be live or taped. But because this is one of those things where it could be taped. You could air this show taped, and it's okay. Because it's just going to be so crazy to watch that. Like, even the crowd, because they won't even really 100% understand what's going on. So to see that on TV, I'm picturing, like, when Austin breaks into Pillman's place, but, like, with a little bit more, like, a little bit of comedy there, right? Because it's a boat, it's a cruise ship. But it's just awesome. Like that, I don't know. But I'm going to move on.
I know do it, but have him on the jet ski driving up with a potted plant for some reason.
Right. Yeah, you can't throw someone off a cruise ship, but you know what
bring
I'm
Mitch back. Bring back Mitch the potted plant.
Oh, come on. No, that. Well, you know what? No. Here's what you do with the plant. Here's what you do with that.
Jacket on.
Here's what you do with that. If they end up fighting into one of the rooms or one of the cruise areas on the ship.
Yeah, like the bunks or something.
Yeah. In the background, like the most identical plant you can find, Mitch the plant in the background. They never touch it. They never say anything about it. But it's just there.
It's just there.
And they're fighting.
Jericho goes to grab it and then just doesn't and just walks away.
Yeah,
you know?
But whatever. Just don't even acknowledge it. But it's in the shot like a lot. And it's like you're just sitting there like, ha. Like, that's funny. Nobody say anything about it.
Just don't even pay attention to it. That'd be great.
I mean, it'd be funny too if Jericho did grab it and throw that off the ship and say, "I hate plants." That'd be funny. But like, I mean, there's just so much.
Just chuck it off the boat.
There's so much goofy shit they could do that in AEW will work. And
they brought back the list. You know.
That was. I mean, that he got actually criticized for that because he was like, "Oh, those stupid WWE ideas." Oh wait,
said,
I'm going to bring in the list.
Terrible creative and.
But I mean, Jeremy Jacobs is, nobody thinks he's terrible creative. So maybe that was when Jericho said that. I'm sure he was talking more about like Vince and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows Jeremy Jacobs has had pretty good ideas.
Yeah, for the most part, a lot of things he had were sound.
But yeah, this type of stuff would be so fun. I'm telling you, that would be a major ratings hit. It would be huge. The YouTube reviews of that, the views on YouTube of that. That would be the type of thing where people from WWE and people that hate AEW maybe even, they would be like, I gotta watch, what the fuck? I gotta see this. Or like, I gotta watch this. That's the stuff that makes you go, I gotta watch this. Let me play a donation. Streamlabs link is in the description box below. Super chats are available tonight as well. I know a lot of people probably blew their wad last night because we had fucking donation world last night. But happy 2020 to anybody that wasn't here last night.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Happy New Year.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
We're going out, everybody wants to fuck me up. Light the fuse, grab my boobs, it's dynamite.
All Erect Wieners. Thank you for the $3. What a great song. A great song, All Erect. Got a couple more coming up. I also want to shout out again DC Derek, the top donation of the stream so far, taking home that digital championship. Hope he does. DC Derek, love you. It's my name. It's Dan Cronin Derek. Look at that. Or Dick Cock. Thank you, sir. I think there's another one coming in. Maybe.
Here we go. I'm about to get it, man. Here we go. About to get it, man.
About to get it.
Here we go. Oh,
Show Marie.
Oh, no.
I think Luke Harper is going to be revealed as the leader of Dark Order at Revolution PPV. You can take that to the bank.
Wow, imagine that. But wait a minute, can't Luke Harper not wrestle until after WrestleMania? He's
I don't know if it's after WrestleMania, but it's in April, I believe.
When is Revolution? Do you know?
February 29th.
So yeah, it couldn't be that because I don't think Luke Harper can wrestle. I think he
had to wait to the end of his contract from what we hear last
and wasn't the end of his contract really after WrestleMania, but they let him go, right? So, but he has a 90-day no-compete.
But he had the minimum 90-day no-compete.
Tommy was trying to pick up
I think it might be just before that if it's only 90 days.
My girl showed me the messages and picture was him.
Oh, Billy NC26. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised Tommy tried to pick her up, man. That's what he does, man. That's absolutely despicable, Billy NC 2010. But Tommy will return, so we'll see what Tommy has to say on Monetize This or on Honestly Podcast. We'll see what's up with that. So, yeah. That being said, I think I just...
Okay, he was released December 8th.
Right.
So that'd be January. His earliest he'll be able to wrestle again is March 6, 2020, I think it says here. So that's a week after the Revolution pay-per-view. So it's still a little bit too shy. That's if they gave him a 90-day no-compete clause. If he has to finish to the rest of his contract, he can't wrestle until then it's still April. But he was released December 8th, so 90 days from them, obviously takes us into March. Also, bad news here. I had this sent to me. AEW not airing live from Chris Jericho Cruise.
That's not bad. That's okay.
It's not bad, but I hope this benefits them because they said they tested it and the internet is very piss poor from the boat. Wrestling Observer also said that what the plan is now
they
is
can do
there's 3 hours of wrestling each night on the boat, except for Tuesday. Tuesday night, they're going to be holding a 2-hour taping for Dynamite that'll air the next night. So it'll be pre-taped, which is okay. But I hope they we'll obviously have spoilers and stuff like that come off the cruise ship, which is sold out. But that'll be January 20th through the 24th. So it'll be that week.
Dude, they can totally do this idea now. They can totally do this idea.
Yeah, if it's not live,
they can totally have Chris Jericho, John Moxley chase down the cruise ship. This would be the greatest thing ever. Come on, please. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, really quick. He just called the show. Oh, and he's in same old... And only him would be this noisy. Tommy NC 2010, return of 2020. Tommy's here.
Hey guys, Happy New Year.
Tommy, we can only do a preview though, man. We got to save it for Monetize This. It's going to be epic.
Happy New You.
Happy New You, Tommy. How are you?
I'm doing good. I've been focusing on losing weight. New Tommy, working on losing weight, going to the gym, at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I'm going to the gym.
There you go.
And working out.
I've been seeing all the videos, man. You're really pumping up. There was one where it looked like you were getting a blowjob, but you are really working out hard. I love it.
Anytime you're posting flutter kicks, you should show your feet.
Yeah, baby. Everybody give some love to Tommy in the chat.
You just showed from your chin to your midsection, so it with the noises, it left a lot of questions.
Well, it was flutter kicks. That's my torture. That is flutter kicks, which I hate so much.
Is that what Mitch calls it, flutter kicks?
It looked like BJ kicks, but yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Those are difficult. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're doing that, man, because I mean, all honesty, Tommy, like seriously, like I need to get in better shape too. You know what I mean? And for you, we all do. And I want you to be around for years, man, and I want to be around for years. So, you know, I think what you did was good, and I can't wait to see it, man. I hope you lose a bunch of weight.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been, eating nothing but chicken and steak.
Well, that's not the best for you either, but chicken's not bad.
Well, steak is protein, so it's like that's one of the healthiest meats that you can eat on a diet. Am I right?
No, anything that flies and swims is what you want to go for.
Yeah, you want to go for fish and chicken. Switch it to fish and chicken.
Moo?
Yeah, no moo. No moo.
You don't want a whole lot of beef. Isn't great. Red meat's not.
Yeah, don't eat a bunch of beef. I'm dead serious. A bunch of like corn, green beans, peas, fish, tuna fish, chicken. Don't do meat though. Do not do meat. Stay away from that. I mean, like once a week you could throw some meat in you, but I wouldn't go for meat too often.
I understand. Yeah, I don't know if anybody notices like the weight loss at all. I know it's kind of progressive and it's slow. I think I've lost at least 20 pounds now.
Really? All right. So Tommy, here's the thing. I'm sorry to say this. I don't want to say this because I don't want to discourage you because that's amazing. You lost 20 pounds. That's amazing. I saw a picture of you the other day. You look like a blimp, and I thought you gained weight. But but your face, I can see it in your face. You're losing weight in your face. I can see it right now. Your neck and face I think that's why I thought you were bigger. I think it's because you lost some of it from your upper body first, and you got a haircut. But yeah, you.
No, I haven't got a haircut. Yeah, I still have a poof.
Oh, still... yeah, because yeah, I guess you wouldn't have a haircut because he's dead. But yeah, are you still here? Oh yeah, you are. Okay, so yeah, so I can see it a little bit in your face. You're losing a little bit of the weight in your face.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. Did you catch AEW tonight? Probably not tonight.
Yeah, I watched the match for the women's title. I thought it was really good.
That was good.
I can't remember her name, the women's champion, but
Rio.
I tell you what, those ladies from Japan, they really can bounce around. Like they really are bouncy. Like they just bounce. Like they're very flexible. They can get around. They just get around that ring and just like she's still champion. Like because she tells you that she's that good.
Yeah, I mean, she's really hasn't appeared in a while, but she beat everybody tonight. She's gonna have to defend it next week. It's Rio, but yeah, they're really bouncing around over there in Japan, huh? Like a bunch of like ping chong chong pong, like that.
No, I don't mean it like that, Joe. I mean just like they're very agile. The Japanese are very agile.
Oh.
It seems like Americans, we wrestle and we take one bad move or take one bad bump and then like we're out for the count. But like the Japanese are just like boom, 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 and they're back up again and they're going. They're just safe. Look like they're so agile.
Yeah, it's called not selling. It's called not selling. That's what it is, Tommy.
So you're saying they're like jumping beans, then, Tommy?
Kind of like
right?
kind of like jumping beans.
Hopping all over the place.
Just enjoying me a nice, delicious apple.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Gay apple, a Gayson or whatever.
What? I don't know what kind of apple it is exactly.
Well, Tommy, I can't wait, dude. I know that me and you are going to record Honestly podcast. People are really excited about that. I'm ready. I can't wait to sit down with you for an hour. It's been such a while. Talk about everything and we missed in 2020, and we're gonna have a good time in 2020, man. I mean, we're still gonna joke, we're still gonna laugh, we're still gonna bust your balls a little bit, but we're also gonna, try to keep it try to be a little nicer than we have been. I think we should do that, and I appreciate it. And
yeah, I gave away most of my roast material, anyways, Tommy. So.
Yeah, the roast is. Yeah, now Rose hates everybody, so now we can. But no, we got Honestly coming up. Tommy, pop in to monetize this tomorrow. Everybody will pop for you tomorrow night Friday night if you show up.
Most definitely. I definitely will plan to be on the show on Friday.
All right,
we're gonna roll out the red carpet
first. Exclusive.
Gonna roll out the red carpet for Tommy on Friday. He'll love that.
Wear something nice.
Tommy Appreciation
Get your hair
Night.
did.
Yeah, wear whatever you want. It'll be a appreciation night for Tommy. Yeah, wear nothing on the show. How about that? But no, Tommy, I'll let you go, man. Is there anything else you want to say or plug or talk about?
I just want to say that I'm happy to be back, and I hope that you guys don't think of me as an asshole. And I'm just me, and I'm just happy to do what I do. I'm just an entertainer, just trying to provide the best entertainment I can do as possible. And, remember, everybody, stay positive, and always remember to take a big bite of an apple.
Damn.
All right, Tommy. Thank you,
Hell of
man.
a statement.
You have a good night.
See ya.
Thanks, Tommy. There's something wrong with him. We'll see him Friday
night.
night.
Asshole, just retarded like me.
Yeah, he's dumber than dummy. But no, Tommy, we'll see you Friday night, dummy. Tommy, what else is there from the AEW tonight that we might have missed? There he is. He's back.
AEW tonight. Yeah, everybody's going to be excited for, monetize this. That's a huge announcement.
Yeah.
Then we had Sammy Guevara taking on Dustin Rhodes. Dustin comes out behind Sammy. Dun, dun, dun. Surprises him, gets him hit. Starts off, they beat the hell out of each other a little bit. You see Dustin hit a power slam on Sammy on the floor, and that's when Hager's coming out, and they stare each other down. Unfortunately, that's going to be the difference maker right there. Hager runs in, hits a low blow on Dustin. Sammy scrambles, gets the pinfall, wins, beats Dustin in about 10 minutes. Okay match. The storytelling is going forward. I mean, we're eventually obviously going to get the match of Hager when he can fight, taking on Dustin. Problem is, Hager has like so many people that he's feuding with at this point in time that we haven't gotten to see any payoff for.
Yeah,
so I'm curious how long it's going to be for that to happen.
He's just kind of in everybody's face all the time, so I don't think they're considering him like feuds at this point. He's just kind of a nuisance to lots of people. Super chat.
In Hungary, I want some cream of some young guy.
Cream of some young guy. Oh, you'd like a cream of some young guy. Casey is raw. Would you like that, Casey is raw? I'd like it too.
You donated $50. I'm gonna take my dick out because you donated $50. You donated $50, motherfucker boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, my friends.
Happy New You. Man in Black. What up, Man in Black? How are you tonight? Man in Black, thank you so much, dude. Holy shit. A cool $50. That is good for a tie. I don't normally put the ties up, but Man in Black, you know what? I got to do it, man, because there's only been a couple bombs. So, Man in Black. They're going to share that $50 title tonight, potentially. DC Derek and Man in Black could be sharing that digital championship. Thank you, Man in Black. Happy New Year. Happy New You. And very, very much appreciated, my friend. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, what was your point about Jack Swagger, though? You think? Thank you very much, my friend.
I don't know when his next Bellator or MMA fight is going to be, but him not being able to actually fully compete, it's starting to wear a little bit thin. It's been, 4 months now. September they debuted, and you just see him barely getting on the action. He's the difference maker, the numbers advantage. Okay, but I feel like it's going to get stale sooner than later, and hopefully they can actually have a match with him eventually. I'm growing tired of him just being the muscle on the outside. That's why I'm excited that Wardlow is going to be facing Cody in a steel cage. At least that's utilizing him finally. He's not just the bodyguard. It's an interesting match. We haven't seen a cage match, so
didn't we find out that Jack Swagger, the only reason why Hager isn't wrestling is because he still has that deal with Bellator?
With Bellator. So that's why I said I don't know when his next fight is scheduled to be. I don't see anything scheduled currently.
Did
but I
you
don't
just
know if
say that?
Contract.
Did you say that and I just repeated it?
Yeah, but that's.
I heard you subconsciously while I was reading something, and then I said it.
Well,
that's
we're on
happened.
The same wavelength.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Well, and that's why Wardlow, is going to get his. At least he'll get in there, and
Yeah, thankfully, but the last fight we had was when Hager had the no contest with Anthony Garrett. That was Bellator in Connecticut.
Anthony
231. 231. I don't see any other scheduled fights or anything coming up for a rematch with Garrett. So, I know that was discussed heavily after the no contest. So I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah.
I stopped watching wrestling because of WWE.
Well, WWE 2K20 doesn't work. Oh, no, they fixed it. Never Flippin' on Isaac. What up, Never Flippin' on Isaac? Wow. I mean, dude, to be honest, the sad truth is a lot of people, Isaac, or Never Flippin' on Isaac, a lot of people stopped watching wrestling because of WWE. I mean, a lot of people just found other wrestling to watch, but there are some people that, they watch WWE, that was it. They didn't like what was going on. They got salty about wrestling. They got soured on wrestling, and they did. They turned it off. That's definitely happened. And so it sucks, but it's true. It's the truth. And and a lot of those people aren't like us who grew up knowing there's ups and downs and things like that. They're newer, and they've only been watching 3 to 10 years, and they're like, you know what, I'm fucking done with it.
We want a Frog Pack donation with the Wolfpack music.
We could do that. I think. Wolfpack music gets hit a lot, though, but maybe a cover. Wolfpack, Frog Pack. Okay, we'll think about doing that.
$100.
What the?
It's donation time, motherfucker boy.
Holy shit! What is this, New Year's Eve again?
I don't like sharing things.
Oh shit, Man in Black. He goes, I don't like sharing things. Oh, man. I'm sorry, DC Derek. DC Derek gets booted off.
He does not want to share.
Doesn't want to share.
That title is his and his alone.
He's just like my wife. Man in Black will be the top guy for the JCS Digital Championship at this point now.
That's great.
Wow, Man in Black. Thank you so much, man. Whoa. Dethroned in there. DC Derek, thank you for your contributions, man. Thank you guys for beasting again. What is going on, man? 2020 has been amazing so far for the show.
It's first full day in. Yeah, it's been incredible.
Khalid, thanks, man. Much appreciated, dude. Holy shit balls. That was wild. Man in Black with the Hyundai. And remember this, the Big Show? Guess what's going to happen on the new year? And then we never got this. Do you think that he just flipped out in the back?
He must have.
I'm not doing that, Vince.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not doing it, to the ring.
Can we find the promo for that where it's got to be somewhere where it's like, on New Year's Eve, a Big Show surprise, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, for the people that don't remember, like, it was advertised that the Big Show was going to do something. And they showed this as the preview, and then it never happened.
Yeah, nothing came of it.
As
far as I remember.
He had the big baby bottle or whatever.
He did. That was at the time where he was doing all those different gimmicks, too, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I think he was going to, because he did that once early on, where he had, like, the man from Parts Unknown. He did all, like, the different covers of different wrestlers and a lot of parodies, and I think they were trying to capture on that again.
How about the Big Show versus The Undertaker in a retirement match?
There we go. Now we're talking.
Seriously, I mean, how about that at WrestleMania?
Get it done.
Because you don't know really which way that's going to go.
Yeah, no, and I would rather see Cena and Undertaker in a retirement match.
Again?
In a retirement match. Now Cena wants to get his win back. Yeah. We're going to retire The Undertaker, and because at this point, he's been beaten, he's won. Retiring The Undertaker doesn't really, carry that much.
What did he do last year?
Nothing.
Cena wasn't at WrestleMania, neither was The Undertaker.
Cena was the Thugonomics with Elias, but he didn't have a match.
So Cena should say, the story should be that loss haunts him and it bothers him. And not so much that I lost to The Undertaker, because a lot of guys have lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, but the way I lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, to be beaten in under 5 minutes, the way I was, blah, blah, that type of deal. That should be the story. I want to go out at WrestleMania with The Undertaker, and you know what I mean? I want one more chance type of thing. And
go out on top, yeah.
Undertaker's career gets put online, and Cena retires.
If I can't do it, I retire. Yeah, and it could go either which way there, because you never know. I think Cena will be around for a while longer, but
it could be.
I just think he'll be really obscure and scarce. I think we're just going to see him here and there occasionally.
I'm not a big Cena fan, so I mean, like, I would have been happy if it was somebody better or bigger or different to do it, but at this point,
that makes a good deal of sense.
I mean, I have more respect for that than Roman facing the Taker. But then again, the story that they told after the Roman match was so good that, God damn it, that should have been the last thing we saw of him.
Well, because then Roman went on to say for months, I'm the one that retired The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He said it multiple times. So I really think
they should add another match. They should add another match then.
Yeah, I mean, essentially like a spiritual successor to...
I'm not retired. Boy,
I retired you once, old man. Because that's what Cena was going on about, saying when he was facing Roman. He's like, you retired The Undertaker. Well, I'm not some 50-year-old with a bad hip. I'm at the top of my game.
Right. Yeah.
So great promo there. That's such a good one.
I'd take The Rock retiring him too, but The Rock ain't coming back. But I would have taken that too.
There's been rumblings that The Rock wanted to do another match, but they were having trouble again with his schedule in Hollywood having an issue.
Right. It's so hard to get The Rock. I mean, and to do a build that's worthy of whatever.
Well, because he has to not only get in ring shape, but he can't get injured with other prior obligations. Last time, I guess, when he had the second one where he pulled all the muscles out of his abdomen during the match, and he was injured for that. I guess his insurance and whatever contract company was super pissed because they didn't even want him having.
Oh yeah, well we never even really talked about that back then, did we? because we had talked about how that was a worry, like for years or for months, for a year.
9, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we had talked about that for a while recently, and thinking back, well, maybe that's why we didn't talk about it, because it was before I was doing these shows.
Well, we had discussed it briefly, talking about if he was going to have a match last year, because people thought that he and Batista at one point were going to face off.
Right. Hector Gutierrez, what up, Hector? Thank you for being a member of the JCS channel, buddy, and everybody else who's gone down to the bottom to see the perks and join just for the hell of it to help out and get the cool icons in the chat and get the green and get the check mark thing and everything. Thank you guys for going above and beyond, and a special, again, shout out to everybody who's been donating tonight and last night, everybody who donated, and Man in Black. Taking a look at the leaderboard, it's very important to do so. These are as you guys know, these are my commercial breaks. It's important to do so because without you guys doing that, I would not be able to do the shows I do. So I do have to shout it out, though, that this week, Man in Black has moved way up to the top 3rd spot. NASCAR fan at the top, Junebug in 2nd, Man in Black 3rd, Soundwave, Shell, DC Derek, Omar, Pussyless McGee, the Villain, and Scavenger in the top 10 this week in donations. Thank you guys so much for that. And thanks to everybody who re-upped their Patreon today. I know that it was automatic for a lot of you guys because the first of the month was today, and so you guys all got your Patreon updated. Some people might have forgotten their cards, though, or had a problem. So just reminding you to check out Patreon. Make sure you re-up so you don't get locked out of all the bonus content. And Man in Black, thanks so much. Anything left here on the AEW review to wrap up, Jake, from you?
We talked about MJF's promo. That was good. Happy that Wardlow and Cody are going to have a match.
Yeah.
I liked his stipulations. That makes sense with the MJF character. As we're bribing Moxley, doesn't really line up for me. MJF refusing money, but saying that, you can't touch me until Revolution, and I'm going to fuck with you. I'm going to, that's what he outright made it, clear.
Yeah, he made it known.
I'm going to do some shit, but you can't touch me. Then you have to beat Wardlow, my personal war dog, in a cage, and I get to whip you. Not once, not twice, but he goes on the count up to 10 times with a leather belt. And the scars I leave on your back will be reminders that my name is MJF and I'm better than you, and all that shit. That was great. Loved it.
Yeah, that was wild.
He was extremely intense.
We also said something about shit, too, right? What was it?
Yeah.
It was, I forget what he said. It was some kind of play like...
I know he told the crowd that they could see clearly if they took their head out of their asses and...
Something about shit. It was funny, though. It was funny. Yeah. It was good stuff.
But he was spot on, and yeah. I always like MJF on the mic, so...
Oh, yeah, dude. He killed it again tonight. That's why you need an MJF segment. He killed it.
And then we got the Elite, which we talked about against the Lucha Bros and Pac. And like I said, I wish they didn't use those guys as stepping stones. Good match, but it was basically a copy and paste of the match we got from these guys a few weeks back.
Right.
Just substitute Hangman Page for, that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, they faced off so many times now, it just doesn't feel like a big deal. These were dream matchups weeks ago, and now it's kind of stale. So
right. Yeah, it's too bad that
Pac should be your top heel. I'm still shocked that Omega doesn't feel like a bigger deal than he is now. And unfortunately, with Jericho only being there via satellite, the pre-taped promo, it hurts to not have Jericho there because he is just such a big talent. He's obviously busy with Wrestle Kingdom over in, New Japan territory, so that takes away from the night. All in all, I'd give tonight about a 6. It had its enjoyable moments. It wasn't awful by any means, but there's a lot of lapses in judgment and a lot of plot holes that they need to kind of straighten out to make the show more enjoyable. So,
yeah, I kind of agree with you. I gave it a little bit better, but not much different. And we're basically the same grade. I gave it a 6.5. I can't believe I gave it a little bit higher than you this time. That's different, but hey, it is what it is. And Jake, I love you.
$100.
Holy
it's
shit!
Donation time, motherfuck boy.
Leo, wake up!
Just fucking, what is going on? Oh my God.
I will always support you.
Wow. Hallelujah. 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 Man in Black, holy shit with the drops tonight.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Shut up,
He
Drew.
wants to make sure that belt is his.
Drew, you shut your mouth. Man in Black. Listen, Man in Black. I can't fucking believe that, man. Holy shit, another bomb. But let me tell you this. Himmelgod's was in the chat last night partying with us. Himmelgod was great. And shout out to Sir Cardinal earlier, too, as well, for the big one. But,
wow, Sir Cardinal back as well.
Seeing everybody on New Year's was very wonderful. And so because of that, ladies and gentlemen, even though it is Man in Black, he should have his own song at this point. Let's play the old school song of Himmel, because he is the in honor of Himmel, Man in Black is going wild.
Bryan, fucking pummel Himmel cock.
That's not the song. That's not the song.
Whoops.
Man in Black, $100.
Himmel, Himmel God, Himmel, God. Himmel God, he's got so much dough, he got money.
Man in Black, he's got so much dough.
Himmel
Man in Black.
he's a Himmelfarb, Himmel God. Himmel God. Himmel God.
I hope you
Himmel God. Himmel God. Himmel God. Himmel God.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Man, thank you so much, Man in Black. I didn't even know what to do, so I'll have to create a Man in Black drop. Unbelievable shit, bro. Holy shit, man. Thank you so much for dropping all that after the holidays especially and the new year. And thank you so much, bro. Holy shit. Fucking Drew's in the chat laughing his balls off.
Shut up, Drew.
Poor Himmel's probably watching like, what the fuck does this have to do with me? We'll just fucking celebrate you anyway.
You need some tires screeching, like NASCAR pit crew sounds for NASCAR fan.
Oh yeah, that'd be. Oh, imagine that! Like whenever
every time he drops a bomb, just
I'm waiting
the air
for that.
wrench going off.
I'm waiting for that. I mean, I know that you could donate your own donation, like amount, and that could whatever.
Super chat.
Oh shit!
Party.
A Nate from VA.
Mini Bomb, Happy New Year, guys. Missed the show, been at work. Much more success, guys.
Thank you so much, Nate from
unleashing the
VA.
air support.
You want to do this, Nate? You want to do this, Nate? You want to go down that road with me, Nate? You want to do this at work, Nate? I'm gonna come to your work, Nate, and I'm gonna have sex with you. I'm talking about gay ass sex. Nah, Nate from VA, thank you for the $30, man, and I appreciate it, man. Sorry you missed the stream last night. It was epic anyway, man. People were going off. We were having a good time. We have fun over here. There's
nuts.
no weird fucking shit over here. We're all just having a good time. It was so fun last night. And that's what we do. The JCS Army was for real last night, so thank you. Yeah, Man in Black, Nate from VA, thank you, bro. What the fuck were we saying before we got derailed?
We covered all of it.
Did we
You
get
gave it
derailed?
a bit of a higher score.
Drew, did we get derailed?
I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. We got to play the Drew song. No, but yeah, Jake, what did you have to say? I'm sorry.
No, that was it. We went ahead and you gave it a 6.5. I gave it a 6. And I was going to say that NXT was good tonight for what they were going with. Obviously, they played some of the highlight matches of the year. And Adam Cole pretty much swept all of the categories. NXT Tag Team of the Year, Undisputed Era.
Mm-hmm.
Male Competitor of the Year, Adam Cole. Female Competitor of the Year, Shayna Baszler. The Rivalry of the Year was Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. So that was well-deserved, obviously. Future star, Dakota Kai. That was interesting to see. And Takeover of the Year was War Games 3. Breakout star, Keith Lee.
Ooh.
And did I miss any more? Overall Competitor of the Year was Adam Cole. So.
Oh, yeah. We talked about him coming in second yesterday on, like, something, right? A magazine, too?
Yeah, so certainly well-deserved. And match of the year was Adam Cole versus Gargano, best of 3 falls from NXT TakeOver New York.
Okay.
So hell of a set. Then we have, obviously, the Dusty Rhodes Classic teams were announced. So Undisputed Era, Fish and O'Reilly. Forgotten Sons. Then we got Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne teaming up. The Grizzled Young Veterans, Imperium, Gallus, and then we got Mark Andrews and Flash Webster teaming up. So And Kushida is teaming up with an unknown partner as well. So we got to find out who Kushida's teaming up with.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Did anything notable? Did you hear anybody talking about anything notable from NXT tonight? Tonight was, I know it was taped, it was different. And
yeah, those were the pretty much that was it. So that was the matches the end of the year awards that they announced, and then the Dusty Rhodes Classic teams.
So it was a lot of tape.
Was it?
They kind of. Do you think they mailed it in a little bit tonight? Because normally I hear buzz from people like, "Oh, this happened over at NXT." I did not get that tonight.
No, because I think they capitalized on having their show be the only show last week. That worked out well for them. They got their a little over 800,000 viewers for that. And this week, I don't feel like they phoned it in. It was just an award show, pretty much.
Do you think
they covered the matches of the year? They gave their stars some extra time off, and they gave out their end of year awards. And they also the news and buzz comes from the teams from the Dusty Rhodes Classic. So
you would like to see AEW, theoretically AEW, with a very high rating, probably one of the. I myself would like to see AEW get their top 5 rating this week because NXT.
You would think so.
Yeah, because a lot of people probably did not watch NXT. I'm guessing. Some people were like, oh, it was taped, whatever, I'll watch it. So I'm just guessing, and I'm thinking that AEW should do well. But if they don't, if AEW falls under 700,000 views this week, I feel like that's a colossal fail because they had all these people watching, and now this week NXT kind of had their downtime tonight. And if AEW
NXT closed out the show with a live cut of Undisputed Era, Adam Cole cut a promo saying, there's not a superstar in NXT who can touch Adam Cole's status, and Undisputed Era is NXT. So he said, I promise everyone this is just the beginning, not the end. Undisputed Era has just begun. And then the 4 men shared a group hug while posing with their 6 combined trophies, that they won tonight to close the show. So
damn.
Yeah, they won quite a bit of, for the end of the year awards.
So they did their own Slammies tonight.
Yeah, it was their end of the, highlight of the year awards. So I wonder if NXT does topple AEW, that says a lot that an award show with previously aired matches, even though they were matches of the year, big matches, but previously seen matches, if that does better than AEW, then that's going to speak volumes. I mean, it's obviously it's a miss, skippable episode. You can miss this week and just see who won each category. That's what's going to be interesting with the ratings. So the only real notable announcement, like you said, was for the Dusty Classic teams, and that you don't have to see live. You can just see online who they announce. So yeah,
I mean, I'm going to check it out later. I'm going to have it on in the background probably as I'm like laying down tonight. If I can con Leah into letting me have NXT on in the bedroom while I'm laying down to go to bed. Leah puts on fucking the kids' cartoons when the kids aren't in the room because
she's got to keep up with the storyline.
No, because it helps her go to bed. She goes, I go to bed to it. I like the kids' shows in the background. I'm like, you're fucking weird. And so I'm hoping though to confiscate it and get the NXT on the background. Otherwise, I got this tripod, and this is crazy, but if she's watching something, I put a tripod up next to me in the bed, and I lay down, and I face the tripod at me with my cell phone, and I throw headphones on.
There you go.
Isn't that fucking weird? What does the world come to? What are we doing?
I go to every night. I'm on my headphones. I fall asleep listening to something, podcasts, whatever it is. That's the only way I fall asleep. I'm usually falling asleep, to your damn voice.
Yeah.
It lulls me.
Oh, really?
I'll watch, listen to Corrupted or watch Monetize This and Halves if I'm not, any show I'm not a part of, I'll listen to after the fact. And then I have a few other podcasts that I listen to faithfully. So, that's bedtime fodder.
Absolutely. And you can always shoot a couple of shots at each other,
That's right.
Jism shots.
Fly. That'll really help you lull yourself to sleep.
God damn, what the hell?
I will say this, though, after all the news we heard today leading into Out of Nowhere tomorrow, I'm scared.
I got big news for you in a minute. You're going to blow your lid in a minute.
Ooh, I can't wait.
No, go ahead. What are you going to say? I'm interrupting you.
I'm scared, though, because Vince apparently is beyond elated. He's extremely happy with how viral the wedding has gone.
Oh,
the ratings were decent for the wedding portion of it. That was like a 2.4.
We knew it was going to kill it. This has been one of the highest rated segments every week, so you knew this was going to kill it. It was a culmination.
Yeah, they had multiple viral segments because the Randy Orton one went viral. That had over 1 million on just YouTube alone instantly. The Bobby Lashley and Lana wedding recap had 4 million views in 24 hours. It was number 1 on YouTube's trending last night for New Year's Eve.
Right.
Then they had what happened off the air, garnered almost 3 million views, plus all of the Twitter interactions. So Vince is beyond elated. And he said now he's very happy with the way everything played out. And Wrestling News reports that Vince wants to do more crazy stories like this. And, it'll satisfy the people at the USA Network and the sponsors. So he got what he wanted this week, and the Overrun did nice numbers. So Vince is in a good mood.
Let's hope they bring back the Overrun. I mean, that's
what his goal was, I guess, in doing this.
That was one of the biggest
don't always.
things.
USA doesn't like it, but the sponsors do, and it's weird. But
that was one of the
USA
biggest
was
talking
happy
points.
with all of the extra influx of viewers. So
that was one of the biggest talking points that we really didn't get to this week was that run over time, that they finally went to the run over. Because we've been saying like they're allowed to do it or it's the options there, but they hadn't. They've been executing exit at the exact time every week, every single time, without fail.
They've cut it close.
What's
they've
up?
Always made it.
Brandon Harbin's here. What's up, Brandon? Gabriel Torres. Jake Roberts. What's up, Jake Roberts? Steve Langenheim. What's up, brother? But no, also EA Games. Yeah, you're right, man. Jake Roberts is up. Stacy Dillard, baby. But yeah, they need the overrun, as I've said, as everybody knows. Because you need this fucking overrun, man. You need to be able to be like, I don't know what's going to happen. But
yeah,
Jake,
they had one tonight, and that was a pre-taped show for NXT, so...
Well, I didn't know that, actually. Wow. That's, I go, right, like I knew what you were going to say. I thought you were my Raw. No, that's funny, though. They had an overrun over there. Well, they probably did
an award show.
They probably did that on purpose. Probably did that on purpose.
Just to keep that, time slot going.
Right.
But you're right. They desperately need it because no matter what's happening in the match, like you were starting to say, bam, the ending's coming. It's 10:59. Here comes the pinfall. Here comes the interference, whatever it is. They take that, what if scenario and squash it right away.
So I got big news.
Tell.
On my other channel on Corrupted Nation, as you guys know my other channel, Corrupted Nation, I got a message from a guy. Are you familiar with Star Trek Axanar?
No.
You're not familiar with this?
No.
The feature film series web show. They raise money for these shows. They got in trouble with Paramount a little bit back because Paramount was like, yeah, we're not going to let you do this. And then they agreed to something and then they let them do it. And there's actors from Star Trek Enterprise and other Star Treks that appear on this Axanar program on the web series.
That's cool.
It's fan made. It's a pretty big thing. Somebody, if you know about it in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. The guy who makes it fucking commented on Corrupted Nation and sent me a message and said that he wanted to have me on his podcast. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, holy shit, dude. Like, I can't even believe this is the guy in the show, the guy that made the whole thing. So I was like, yeah, dude, I'll come on there and talk about anything at any point. So I'm pretty pumped up, man. Not to jump the gun, but I'm talking to him and emailing. I'm ready. I'm excited about that, man. So anybody has any questions about Star Trek Axanar, any super dorks in here that want to talk about that.
Yeah, they even have their own prelude, that leads into everything. And
yeah. It's one of those sort of teaser things to get the crowdfunding going,
Yeah, AxanarProductions.com.
Yeah.
Damn, that's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, they have the full built sets, and like you said, it's not like just somebody holding a handy cam. They're all out, producing their full on episodes. That's crazy.
Yeah, guy's name is Alec. Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped up about that, man. They got a big website, big YouTube, big everything, and I don't know, man. I'm pretty pumped up about that to be on there. But yeah, so shout out to him, and I'll reach out to him. I don't even know if he knows I have this other channel. I think he just knows about the Corrupted channel. On top of that, I got the lead singer from Stabbing Westward coming on next week as well, so I hope everybody gives the love for the Star Trek podcast that I'm about to do, and the fact that Stabbing Westward's new EP is coming out January 3rd. You can get it on iTunes, Spotify, and they're also releasing a vinyl, so if you miss Stabbing Westward, it's been 20 years since they've had anything out. And you
can download it now through nefarious means.
I wish you could. If you could, I would have done it. I would have done it if I could have done that already, because I would have given them the money still. But yeah, so I spoke to Chris. So I'm excited about Star Trek Picard coming out at the end of the month. I'm excited about now Star Trek Axanar and watching more of that and whatever they're filming and whatever they can come out with. I'm excited that Stabbing Westward's newest first CD in 19 years, EP is coming out, and I have a lot of questions for him about that EP and the music. So that's all going to be probably over on Corrupted Nation maybe, or all my podcasts are here. So I don't want to stop. If you're not into all that stuff, you're not into it, that's cool. But it's going to take place on my other channel, Corrupted Nation, probably, and promoting it throughout there. So shout out to them and everybody else who supported. Also, we'll have Sean Danielson's going to be back again in a couple weeks to talk about Smile Empty Soul, the band Smile Empty Soul, and his solo career. He's been on the show twice before, but we'll have Smile Empty Soul Sean Danielson. And on top of that, Sean Danielson also promises to get me a little spot with Dave Grohl. So I'm going to have a sit-down with Dave Grohl from the fucking Foo Fighters coming up in the next couple months. Hopefully, we'll see.
That's huge.
So there's going to be a lot of big things going on over on the Corrupted Nation page. So look for all those fucking drops, man. Talk about dropping some names. We had Cody Rhodes on this show just about a month ago or 2 months ago, right? And
yeah,
a lot of good interviews have been coming my way. So I'm really excited what happens in the future. So reach out.
Is huge.
Reach out to
hear how that goes.
You guys can make all this happen too. If you guys want me to interview someone, have someone on the show. I love a lot of entertainment. Love a lot of people. Love a lot of wrestlers. So you guys have the ability to reach out on Twitter and email and be like, I want you on this guy's show. Everybody listens. All these guys come on. All these tell them about who's been on the show. Tell them to come on the show. I've had listeners come up to me and be like, hey, dude, I got this guy to say he'd come on your show. What's up? Here's the blah, blah. And then they come on. So do it. Do it up. It's up to you guys. You guys can be the booker and get him on the Joe Cronin show, whether it's Corrupted or Joe Cronin or whatever. Explain 300,000 views a week at least, big following, lots of people been on, blah, blah, blah. You'd love to see them on. You're a big fan of them and me, that type of thing. So that's how you guys can help and get people on that you want to see on the show. I don't reach out as much because I run into problems like I did with Ryback back in the day. So fuck that. But yeah, man, I mean, we get Dave Grohl on here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to ask him if he killed Cobain because I think that might be the first question I ask him. Jesus.
How much money did Courtney Love pay you?
Yeah.
To keep your silence.
How good was that Suck Job?
Yeah, Stabbing Westward hasn't released anything since what? Well, they had that one track, but that wasn't fully new. Since what? The self-titled album?
Yeah, dude, the self-titled album was...
It was 2002,
bizarre. Bizarre.
Yeah.
It was like they went from industrial heavy rock to Goo Goo Dolls. It was really strange.
It was a huge step into a whole nother genre, pretty much.
The lead singer, though, started a new band, The Dreaming, and they've been doing that for the last 18 years, and I've seen them 7 times, and they're good. It's almost Stabbing Westward, but it's not quite. But I'm hoping this new stuff sounds like the old industrial and doesn't really sound like the new...
Yeah, it's like seeing Till on his own instead of Rammstein. It's essentially the same, but it's not.
But it's not. Exactly. That's right. It's exactly what it's like to me. So I'm pretty pumped up for that. And yeah, I love Till. It's weird. Lindman on the new CD, he went back to German lyrics. So which is okay, but I kind of liked how that separated from the Rammstein too. It was mostly all in English.
Yeah, this is in English and
yeah. I don't think it sold well. I think their point was to hopefully sell well, on a broader audience maybe, and it didn't sell much better anyway. So I think they figured
might as well go back to
German. Yeah, most of the sales are coming from Germany. I guess. I mean, I don't know that. That could just be, for all I know, he's we'll do every other album English German or something, or he just felt like doing it German. I don't know. So I don't really know the answer to that. I'd love to. Maybe somebody who's heard an interview.
I would kill to see them live.
Oh yeah, dude. Especially in a smaller venue. Spaz Phoenix.
NXT review goes live as a mofo tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on YouTube and in podcast form.
Oh man, NXT live review tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on YouTube in podcast form by Spaz Phoenix. Check him out on Spotify. He's got a good Spotify podcast, iTunes, all that bullshit. He's on everything. Spaz, thank you for the $5 Canadian, man. And your podcast gets better every week, so it's been good.
Hell yeah, Spaz.
Shit. But yeah, we moved off of the wrestling, kind of talked about some other life shit, and me and Jake, hopefully, again, are going to be trying once a week or so to deliver some kind of podcast on pop culture, gaming news in general, and whatever.
Floats your fancy.
We already put up a 45-minute episode on Patreon, so more is going to be up on Patreon. We'll probably put some clippets or snippets up on YouTube on Corrupted Nation. So make sure you subscribe to me over there, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere else. But yeah, a lot of news divulged out to you.
Yeah, and we got a lot to talk about tomorrow regarding the Royal Rumble. So you're not going to want to miss Out of Nowhere. You know, some little tidbits with AEW, but a lot of WWE news. I don't know if that's fortunate or unfortunate, but some interesting facts and builds towards WrestleMania and possibly some Rumble surprises as well. So you're definitely going to want to head and tune in tomorrow night Out of Nowhere.
Some
Joe Cronin Show.
An AEW hater in the chat just said AEW.
I see AEW, gay EW, you know?
Wow. They came here to hate.
It's the one hater, just the one.
Wow, they'll come here to hate on me. Hate. It's that player haters ball, motherfucker. Man, I love that skit.
Chappelle was so damn good.
Name the show Float Your Fancy. What the fuck, Ryan?
That's what I said. Whatever floats your fancy.
What else are people saying? I love the video where they caught the naked wild girls. What? What is that? What is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Joe's favorite is Britney Spears. No, come on. Nature Calls is all right. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I think the Rammstein video where they call the naked wild girls.
Oh yeah, the new one, the new video.
Yeah,
Holy
for Australia,
fuck.
whatever it's called. Yeah, Aussie Land, I think it is.
I can't, dude. I could never even show that on my channel. But yet,
I know, but they can have full on, topless nudity and.
How
they
is
literally go and well, look at the pussy video as well. It's a full-on porno.
How the fuck is Rammstein and Till's fucking?
I have a pussy.
Like how is that stuff up on YouTube?
I have a dick.
But if I
so what's the problem?
If I gargle milk and say it's my own jizz, that video comes down.
But that's art.
Oh, I said it's my own man juices. That's all I said.
Yeah, you didn't even say semen or jizz. Nothing. Yeah. You said man juice.
Fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. But
what a double standard.
I guess Stabbing Westward shot a music video too, so we'll have a little video of theirs coming out eventually.
Oh wow, that's great.
I know.
I remember them being on the Spawn soundtrack.
Dude, everyone says that. You're like the JB always goes to that, like, oh, Spawn or fucking Bride of Chucky. Dude, they were on Clerks. They were on Clerks in 94 or 95. Johnny Mnemonic.
I was huge into soundtracks.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Get the best, singles all at once.
Oh yeah.
It was like the now music for kids, kind of idea. Like, soundtracks back in the day were great because instead of having to buy 10 albums for just the singles you wanted,
right?
Usually, whatever big blockbuster movie would have, all the top hits. And before you were downloading music, and so
I just want to point out that in the Stabbing Westward video shoot that's going on, and I know people, what's funny is last couple of weeks, especially the last 5 weeks on Corrupted. If you guys aren't listening to Corrupted on Patreon, there's been a lot of questions about music, and I am forced to bring up Stabbing Westward. I think people are starting to make fun of me about it, but it's like I didn't mean to bring them up so much, but people just kept being like, "Who's your favorite band?" or "What's your favorite whatever," and I'm like, I guess it's Stabbing, and then Leah's making fun of me, and I think it's because everybody's like, oh, I like The Who and I like Led Zeppelin and I like all these things, and I'm like Stabbing Westward, but Pink Floyd's one of my favorite, but so it's weird that this has been coming up, but also on top of that, in reality, in coincidence, totally coincidental, they're coming out with their first music in 19 years. That's weirdly coincidental that it came up the last 5 weeks. And now this is coming out January 3rd. So I was looking at their Instagram, and they got this music video picture where they're talking about, shoot a music video, trying not to look like old people. Because Chris Hall is 50-something now. Can we talk about this ballerina dancer in the background that's fucking terrifying me?
Yeah, it's really creepy.
What the fuck is this?
Dude, to see how
that type of shit scares me more than a bleeding anus.
That ghostly,
some little fucking
possessed
painted up ballerina chick staring at me from behind.
Yeah, gore doesn't bother me usually either. It's that kind of stuff, that haunting imagery.
That's freaking me out. I mean, I'm down with it. Thing I always liked about Stabbing Westward too is a lot of their album covers. They usually get somebody who's like fucked up to do their artwork. Like their artwork's always like kind of like fucking disturbing.
Yeah, it's pretty deranged.
I like that. I mean, I wouldn't say deranged, right? Because it's not like Cannibal Corpse, but it's like, it's dark. Someone else might think it's more deranged, but it's not. It's tame to me because I've seen a lot of metal albums where there's like dead things all over the place. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not so like. It's more subtly like kind of like dark, but like other, like because like metal albums where there's like people like crucified or something. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like God, Slayer or something like that. But yeah, it's just wild to think about the music scene and what's going on now. And the only things I get excited for really much more in life are the fucking all the stuff that I liked when I was a kid coming back now.
Yeah, the nostalgia buzz.
Yeah. I'm just nostalgic for all the old shit. That's what
I
I'm
still
looking
listen to
forward
people, shitting, doing 2-3 hour reviews of the Star Wars, reviews, and it's just like I just don't like. I respect everybody's opinion. I get it, but I just don't see the hate. Like I enjoyed it. I liked it. And
I can see it, but I'm not.
I see certain aspects, but like some people are just so, just.
But I mean, I was like that about Last Jedi.
Against everything, and I was like, I get it, because that's how I was towards the Last Jedi. But
I lost my mind on Last
more
Jedi.
Unanimous.
That's why I'm not yelling at anybody. Anybody who hates this Star Wars, who's flipping out, like I'm not even. I'm like, I'm like, well, whatever, because I get it, because I did it about Last Jedi. I thought this movie was. I liked this new movie, but at the same time, I went, wow, like what a fucking dumpster fire this is. But I like, but I like it,
which we admitted. We both said.
I like it
as a movie, and
dude, I heard a lot of people, and like the biggest disconnect I have from a lot of the people that are ranting on the new Star Wars is they're really shitting on. A lot of people are shitting on C-3PO scenes and stuff, but like I find myself going, I'm surprised. I liked them. I don't know why. I don't know. I laughed. I can't believe it. I don't know why I laughed, but I did. I thought it was hilarious when he couldn't, remember anything and stuff. Like that stuff was funny. Like to me, I'm hard to please. So like I don't know, they got me. I don't know what it is. It was dumb. It was kind of a retelling of Return of the Jedi in a way, but it was. I was like, whatever. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish our children would have that experience that Hector pointed out. CDs are going away, and even just cassettes, CDs. All that kind of thing, where you would have a band, a new band, release an EP, either a small sampling, or even their full release, and you would love the radio single, but you don't know what you're going to get for the rest of the CD. There was no way to stream the whole CD. There was no way to listen to all of it.
Yeah.
Rarely the radio would do like listening parties, but that was so, few and far between. So you'd have to go and save up or whatever you had to do as a kid, mow some lawns, babysit some kids, whatever it was. And you'd pick up these CDs, and then you can either have a gold mine or you'd be wholly disappointed because you have the one single that you love you're going to listen to 100 times. But is the rest of the CD worth it? And you hope that your purchase is worthwhile. But as you know, how many bands came and went. I remember my buddy being like, "Oh, this Crazy Town CD is going to be great. I love
Crazy
Butterfly."
Town.
And then later on that day, breaking the CD in half, being like, "This is garbage."
Yeah, but you know what? Fuck your friend, because he bought that CD based on Butterfly. He should be shot.
Well, yeah, he had poor taste and judgment anyway.
He should be axed. Your friend.
We crucified him for that.
Is your friend you? Is your friend you?
No, actually, I can safely say I avoided that craze.
Okay. Come, my lady.
Honestly, I can reassure you that was not me for that.
Funny thing about Crazy Town, they did a tour with Stabbing Westward.
Really? Yeah, because he had that. It was my friend Jeremy, that and Tantric. He kept trying to convince all of us to buy the Tantric CD when it came out, and he got on their street team and all this stuff, and that CD was garbage.
They jerked each other off. I think I remember it slightly.
Horrible CD.
Horrible CD. Damn,
horrible
you're just burying that.
Oh yeah, it was wet hot garbage.
Yeah,
but I remember my mother was big into like BMG and Columbia House. You pay 25 cents a CD, but really, after that initial deal, then every CD was like $40. And she used to use everybody's name under the sun to get the first like sample pack where you could pick out 10 CDs for $1, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then she would just cancel afterwards. So we would, eventually have just stacks of CDs. It was great.
Well, I mean, I do have breaking news right now.
Ooh.
I have the first audio of the Stabbing Westward January 3rd release EP.
Oh, here we go.
This is amazing.
Real breaking.
I'm serious. This is very breaking news. This is nobody else. Nobody's heard this. Look at this. Ready? Check this out. That's it. There you go. It's the first. I'm just kidding. I got that from their Instagram. But it is the first you've heard. But no, so everybody, we're having a good time, man. We had a good 2020. I appreciate it. I thank you guys for the support last couple of days. It's been badass. We've had a great time here. I've had a great time. 2020 is going to be the shit, if anything is like last night's 2020 party that we had. Go back and watch that stream if you missed it. And go back and relive my 15-hour stream from earlier, months ago, whatever. When we hit 400 patrons. Yeah, I hit 400 patrons, so I did that. Chris Cabacco's in the chat. What's up, bro? Crazy Town, that friend is not your friend, he says. That's funny.
Funny enough, that friend was going to be the singer of our band, but was too shy to sing in front of anyone.
He was Lars.
I kid you not. And we went ahead. We had the whole band. We had songs written, everything. And he wrote lyrics that were great. And we're like, all right, this fits well. And he sang half a song once in front of, and then that was it. Never sang again. We had shows and gigs coming up. We're like, we got to practice. And he just turned.
Well, dude, imagine me and me. I'm the
total stage fright.
I was the goddamn drummer, and then they were like, "No, you're the singer now." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, they just swapped you into that role.
And then like that happened all the time to me, and I'm like, "What the fuck happened to me? Why did I have all these drum lessons and stuff?" Like my mother.
What did I put all this money into a drum set for?
Yeah, my mother, since I was a kid, was like, "You're good at those. You're good. Like you should have a drum. We should get him a drum set and stuff." And she's like pushing drums, like, "Oh yeah, go ahead. You love it. I'll sign you up for whatever." And here's some more drums, and here's drumsticks, and I'm always getting drums, and basically my mother really did
conditioning you into.
She helped me. She wasn't old. She didn't understand really, but she was like, "Yes, like let's push this. He seems to be good at this." So
creative freedoms.
That was nice of my mom to do that, and all this buildup of drums, and then every goddamn time I'm in a band as a drummer, they end up making me the fucking singer. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
They couldn't contain all that passion behind the set. They had to let you loose.
Yeah, they had to let Danny Boy loose.
Let it ooze over the audience.
Yeah. Flow.
Yeah, that was for the longest time I was drumming in a few different bands, and then I said before my asshole father pawned my drum set.
Jesus Christ!
When I had moved out for that Christmas, like a year later, my grandmother got me the starter pack from Fender because I had mentioned once, so like, oh, I'd like to learn guitar just on a passing, and I'm like, well, now I have this guitar, and I taught myself how to play with tabs. I went on like ultimatetabs.com and all that stuff and learned through tablature. And I learned, through that way without ever learning a single chord. I just taught myself with numbers and started playing in bands and eventually bought better equipment and played for years. I need to restring my guitar. I haven't played in a while, but it was bugging me the other day. I'm like, I really need to go and restring that and get it all hooked up again.
Then I could drag my drums down to your house.
Hell yeah. Make a real party.
But you can just wear headphones now, too. Like nobody.
Yeah, I know. It's cool, especially with your electronic set. That's badass.
Just throw the headphones on. It sounds decent. It's okay.
It sounds great. Anything you put up sounds really good.
Yeah, the ratings come out tomorrow. I think Ghost Show is just guessing the ratings. I think that's him guessing the ratings, but maybe not. Maybe he was trying to pull a fast one on you. I don't know.
Well, that was the week before, wasn't it?
Was that last week? Man, I'm not as concerned about it. Going into the rest of January, though, we're going to see what happens. Hopefully their ratings go up to about 900,000, though. They really need to get that rating going up there. And I just jerked off. But no, do that.
But if they lose to NXT being just an award show, really, showing highlights of matches that they had throughout the year,
that's bad.
That speaks volumes. That's huge. So
especially when they're coming back. You know what I mean? And they're like, we knew tonight was their back and it's live. Like, that's going to be dangerous. But anyway, we're going to get out of here. Jake, you have a good night, my friend. And thank you.
You too as well. And hit me up during the day tomorrow. Danny's sick. She's home, and I will be home. So.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Well, not that she's sick, but yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow, man. We'll record something.
Kid.
We'll really try to record something tomorrow.
All righty. Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Everybody stay sexy. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow for Out of Nowhere.
Tomorrow night, Out of Nowhere, and look for that recording on Patreon at some point. Good night, Jakey. Woo!
Good night, everybody.
And I'm going to get out of here. I ran up against the time here. got a bunch of stuff to do, and we are going to get out of here, and we'll try to take some calls tomorrow night on Out of Nowhere. I promise you that. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you guys want to help me out, feel free to hit the like button if you did like this review tonight, and we will see you tomorrow for Out of Nowhere. Then Friday night for Monetize This. Tommy returns, and I pluck at his nipples. And thank you to Man in Black for dropping $100. That is the top donation of the stream, and it looks like he's taking home that JCS Digital Championship. And now we end the show with a song for Drew. Drew is an idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a fucking idiot.
2020, baby. He was thinking about.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. Everywhere I go, I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh, hey, by the way, everybody, make sure you're a patron of mine because Morning Madness episode 199 is dropping at some point tomorrow, and I have got some shit to say, motherfuckers. Morning Madness episode 199. Don't miss it, because someone's going to get burned.
Everywhere I go, I'm a fucking idiot. At the Joe Corn Show in Pizza Hut, I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
When I'm at home all alone, I'm a fucking idiot at home all alone. When I'm on the phone, I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
All summer long, I'm an idiot. All summer long, all summer long, all winter long, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot.
My family has to deal with it. I'm a fucking idiot. My family has to deal with it.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
And my family has to deal with it.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Cause I'm a fucking idiot. Oh yeah.
I'm a fucking idiot.
My family has to deal with it.
I'm a fucking idiot.
When I'm in church, I'm a fucking idiot. When I'm at work, I'm a fucking idiot. When I'm at work, I'm a fucking idiot. When I'm in traffic, I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
No matter what you say, no matter what you do, I'm probably gonna be a fucking idiot to you. I'm an idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, the brand new song by Drew. That's a hit song,
Credit
Drew.
to JB for the dummy drops that were in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Those were well played.
you're going to be on the radio.
And a song about an idiot with dummy in it, it's needed.
Well, what's funny is you would go, I'm a fucking idiot. Okay.
Yeah, dude, I almost lost it. I heard those and was like, oh, God, I'm going to fucking die.
Joe,
I was on mute.
Joe goes, I'm
Dummy
a
is
fucking
God.
idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. That was so perfect. Oh, that was fucking gold. Now, do you see, Waterboy, how that works? Drew just got a song made about him, and he's laughing about it.
That's fine. I like the song. It's cool.
Oh, that's okay. But
If it was about Jacob, we'd have a 30-minute argument.
No.
Well, you know, Jacob.
No, because Joe made it, and you can steal his subs.
Well,
That's why it
Jacob
would
has
be
a
okay.
song too. You know, you ever?
Yeah, probably. I'll steal all his.
Have you
wait,
heard-
that's right, Joe,
Jake-
the new song.
Yes, it's right here. I got it right here.
Jump in. I'm a water boy. In a water world, life is drowning.